Which hero do you think you want to be today?
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Pretty sure I'm still the coolest spider hero in any
30
reality.
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Is that diamond skin of yours actually impenetrable?
I haven't found anything that's been able to damage it yet.
I'm sure I've got something in my arsenal that could do the trick.
Whatever it is, I'd prefer if you aimed it at our opponents, darling.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
That robot! Whoa! These chronal energy readings are gonna blow out your sensors, Spider!
There's somebody.
I'm counting on you, friends! This is restoring! This is gonna hurt!
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
This is gonna hurt!
Out of the infirmary.
This is gonna hurt!
Capture the mission area!
Battlefield ready again. Smoke up.
Just needed a few repairs. I'm counting on you, friends.
No, we really need to work as a team!
This is gonna hurt.
Their team's
Ready for
capture
another go,
progress
Spider?
has passed the halfway point. Co-op time!
this my way! They're coming up ahead.
You know what to do, spiders? Time for some fireworks.
Control C!
Sure, I'll take a shield.
Mine's in place.
Trap set.
You know what to do, spiders?
I am ready to put on a show!
This is gonna hurt.
You owe me one.
You belong to me!
Mine's in place. We're better when we're rich.
Judge! Jury! Executioner!
You know what to do, spiders?
Control locked!
We're finding our groove.
Double KO! They've almost
Ready for
got
another
it!
go, spider?
I found my weak spot.
I'm counting on you, friends. Mine's in place.
Impervious!
My dad built Spider for himself, but I feel like I was born to pilot it.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
So, you're the broad who hunts monsters, huh? My kind of girl.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm no one's kind of girl. Especially yours.
You sure? We'd make a hell of a pair. If you're lucky, I might even let you raid my armory.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I'm counting on you, friends.
A shield? How quick?
Here comes trouble. This is gonna hurt.
Looks like the missionary floor is captured now.
Need some help.
Thanks so much. They captured the mission area!
That doesn't count.
I'm doing this my way!
I am ready to put on a show!
This is gonna hurt. Mine's in place.
Double KO!
This is gonna hurt.
Your team's capture pods are just past the halfway point.
This is gonna hurt. Nando, that doesn't count. I'm counting on you, friends. It's spider time! This could be fun.
Us against the world!
We need some help.
hero do you think you want to be today?
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match? You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
My dad built Spider for himself, but I feel like I was born to pilot it.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Ice cheese.
Love your sword, but don't melt my ice.
It's not actual fire, it's soul fire.
That's too awesome.
Shields up!
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Mom, you expecting Peter Parker? Please. You know what to do, spiders? Mine's in place.
A nice deep freeze. That one hurt.
Mine's in place. You know what to do, spiders?
Thanks for the shield. A nice deep
Mine's in
freeze.
place. We're better when we work together. You're up, little one. Mine's in place.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Systems restoring.
Enemy in front of us.
Mine's in place.
Let's have some fun. I like the cold.
Double KO!
This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
We're halfway there. Keep going!
We're better when we're time for some fireworks.
Hitting the box with your fatal mistake. Shields up. Ice up.
You're up, little one. Mine's in place.
almost there. Don't turn back now. Us against the world.
Time for some fireworks. It's spider time! We're better when we work together.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I'm counting on you, friends.
I can be reckless now.
Lines in place. We make quite a team. Systems restoring. This is gonna hurt.
Judge! Jury!
This is gonna hurt.
Executioner!
Anything stand in your way.
Disappear! This is gonna hurt.
She strikes true, Lindy.
This is gonna hurt. You know what to do, spiders?
This is your big chance.
You've got my back. I've got yours.
A nice deep freeze.
Time for some fireworks.
It's good to be protected. I unleash the Vishanti's power.
The current score is 3-2-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. The right heroes could make all the difference.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
Round 2.
What I do may seem dangerous, but I've never felt safer than when I'm with Spider.
Protective shield. Perfect. They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
It's been way too long since we did the whole Agents of Atlas thing, AB. Almost all of my time is devoted to running hyper divisions already. I get it. Too busy saving the world with your old friends. It's all good.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the
Time for
mission
some
area.
fireworks. Systems restoring. Time for some fireworks.
Protective shield.
Woohoo! I know that sound. We make quite a team.
Against a full-strength Scarlet Witch.
Lines in place. So much better.
Scan initiated. Vigilante activity detected. Initiating surveillance mode. Martial law in effect. No unauthorized entry.
I'm counting on you, friends. Lines in place.
His shield should do nicely.
Lines in place. We're better when we work together.
I made a blast. What timing? Perfect synergy.
Lines in place.
I suck.
This is gonna hurt. You've
can easily end up like Destiny 2 getting packed up and shut down. And y'all can do that a lot sooner than Destiny. Yeah, they're not about the program. I've been on record. I've sat there and said this on live stream. I said this in other videos. I've sat here and said, if Marvel Rivals did not have the Marvel IP behind them, it would have ended up just like High Guard. Okay? Do any of you guys even remember High Guard? Anyone? Exactly. Marvel Rivals probably wouldn't even made it out of the first year if it wasn't Marvel characters backing behind this game, because how these devs are so passive aggressive with handling stuff makes no sense to me. When it comes to balancing, okay, I understand that it's you have to kind of like, you know, it's like a trial and error thing. You have to give it time. I understand that. Okay, don't get me wrong. Then you got a lot of stupid people within the community that argue back and forth and don't know what they're talking about. So you have to balance that aspect. I get the balancing aspect. That's a little complicated. It takes time. But when it comes to dealing with matchmaking, throwers, cheating, hacking, that kind of stuff, dealing with that kind of stuff, this has been an issue since like day zero. And now we got people on live stream on YouTube, TikTok showing their hacks. You got people on Twitter, you got Reddit pages just over here, just, you know, flaunting it. They just public with it. They don't even care. I remember on Destiny when people used to cheat, it was like a freaking hidden code that you had to kind of sit there and freaking dig through to kind of find out who was cheating. Over here, oh, they fine about it. And the reason why they don't care is, one, it's a free-to-play game, and two, when they do actually decide to sit there and handle somebody, they decide to, like, you know, ban or suspend their account. No, what they're doing, they're giving like a little timeout. You know, they're not perma-banning the account. And two, since it's a free-to-play game and since this is not like a hardware or an IP ban, they can make as many accounts as possible. And they're just like, yeah, we don't want you guys to cheat, so please don't do it, blah, 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 with their whole freaking little post they made. And yeah, we're implementing stuff to kind of, you know, inhibit this and catch this. And it's just like, yo, this should have already been a thing. I keep saying, hackers, cheaters, and throwers, yeah, they just need the hammer. Lift up the jail, throw them under the jail, and slam it. Throwers, pack them up. This whole, oh yeah, they got a little 30-minute suspension. Seriously? 30 minutes? You think they care, bro? I keep saying, I could not be allowed to be the person that handles that aspect when people are, like, you know, cheating and hacking and doing all that kind of stuff, because I would pack you up for the next 6 months. Oh, you want to sit there and hack the game and use all kind of, like, you know, aim bots and everything, ruining people's matches, whatever. Oh yeah, pack them up for 6 months. Oh yeah, go ahead and get them up. We'll see you in season 16. Don't worry about it. We'll see you in season 20. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. Pack them up for the rest of the year. What are we doing? IP ban, hardware ban. Go ahead, yeah. You're going to have to buy new everything. You're going to have to move locations, bro. Pack all that up. Why are we tolerating? It's like yeah, we don't want you guys to hack and everything. You give them slaps on the wrist. But you got people being voice chat, acting stupid, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't be wilding in voice chat like that, but the simple fact that I sat there and got a warning for sitting there going back and forth with someone that was being stupid, and I'm the one that caught the warning, and I didn't even say nothing. I didn't even cuss back. That's the great. I didn't even cuss. So how am I getting a warning when that person was the idiot? You got people, y'all told me about other streamers, you know, sitting there, hey, they talking voice chat, they getting freaking 4 hours, all kinds of suspensions, communication banned completely. It's ridiculous. But we sit there and allow people to continuously hack. We sit there and allow people to continuously throw. That's why I sat there and said, let me increase my avoid list so I can sit there and stay away from these people who are intentionally throwing. Now, I'm not talking about, now, see, okay, here's a slippery slope with throwing. Okay, here's the slippery slope with that. Some of y'all on this game just suck so bad that you're throwing, but you're not intentionally throwing. You just suck at the game. So, like, your stat spread, when you look at your history, it's not that you're trying to throw. You're just not good at the game. Okay, so we got to different. We need to make sure we have some kind of, like, identification between the two, so we're not sitting here banning the wrong people. All right, because some of y'all just suck. Okay, I've seen the career page. I've gone into the careers. I've looked at the history. I'm like, God dang, they repeat offenders, bro. You just suck at the game. Good Lord. But y'all be trying to win. You just suck. You're in the wrong rank. Okay, this is why I come back to the placement matches don't make sense. Y'all saw what I went through in my placement matches on day one. On any other game, when they had placements, when I played Apex and they had something similar, it was never like this. Like, ever. It was never as stupid as it was in Marvel Rivals of people just being so bad. I'm actually getting people who are, like, because I ended up, like, high diamond, low GM last season, and I'm getting people on my team who never even broke past gold. Like, what are we doing? Can we make some sense? They told us, oh, there's no engagement optimized matchmaking. I'm so sick and tired of them sitting there and trying to dodge the bullet on that. Like, yo, you guys are dancer. There's some kind of system involved. And this has been going on for a year plus, but you guys have some kind of system involved that is making matchmaking a pain in the freaking butt to deal with, because the kind of teammates that you end up getting make zero sense. I'm not sitting here saying I need the best teammates every single time. I just want balanced teams. And whatever system that you're using to try to balance said teams, it's poor. Okay, it's like from Diamond and GM, oh my God. We need a hard reset. Put everyone back into bronze, bro. I need everyone back into bronze. We need a fresh restart at some point, because this makes zero sense whatsoever. And people have talked about it. Other content creators have talked about it. You guys in my comments have talked about it. People on other, Reddit pages, Twitter, they've all mentioned it, how the matchmaking makes zero sense. And it's just like one of them things that they just like, yeah, we'll see. Like, no, get on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on it. Like, over in Destiny, even though Destiny was like a hyper competitive game, when we talked about how stupid matchmaking was, they were like, okay, we'll adjust matchmaking. And they were very transparent on how matchmaking actually operated. I'm sorry, even though when they gave us that little mathematical explanation on how their matchmaking works, it's still like, no. It was much more clear cut on Destiny. We knew exactly how the matchmaking was working. Relates to like KD ratio and everything. We knew exactly how matchmaking was working over there. We had a solid understanding. It wasn't engagement optimized matchmaking. Sometimes it was just too good for your own will, and it just was what it was. If you got sweat lobbies, it's because you was a sweat. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? But right, it's just oh my God, it's just so funny, because this is one of them things. It's not like the biggest issue in the world, because not every single one of my matches are bad, but it's enough where it's going to be a continuous problem where people are just not going to want to deal with it for months and seasons and update after update. When they look at the patch notes and they see you guys, they even bother to see it. I got so many people that want to see, some adjustments to, characters like Storm, and they still are just ignoring it. We want to see adjustments to team ups. They still haven't adjusted. The freaking, I still don't understand why the Fantastic Four team up was taken out of the game. I still don't understand the freaking what the other one, the Adam Warlock and Storm team up. Hey, like I get it. They're coming out with new characters every single season. All right, they're coming out with brand new characters, so they gotta make sure that character's working the way it's supposed to. The character's not overly broke, because the character's gonna be broken. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting the character to be perfectly balanced every time we watch it. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, it's like you guys are ignoring the other aspects of your freaking game, the other characters, the other roles in your game. Why do you think the tank community was so frustrated up until Devil Dino finally got released? And even still then, the tanks, it's still, when you compare tanks to duelists when you compare tanks supports to the duelist category, it's still a whole bunch. And understandably, honestly, I understand you probably need more duelists just to kind of sell the game. It's what's probably going to be your most played role. So, of course, you want to make sure you got DPS characters in the game. I understand the marketing aspect of that. But can we be serious? Can we get more supports? Can we get more tanks? Can we make an honest effort with our design, when we add more tanks and more supports into the game. Y'all got it with DPS. Every time you release a duelist, hey, you guys are on point. Can we be a little more consistent? That's all we're asking. I better not see another DPS season ever again in my lifetime on this game. Y'all will, like, just don't do it. Like, it's just so many things. It's the small things that build up, because that's what it was like on Destiny 2. Destiny 2, let me tell you guys what happened with that freaking goofy behind company, bro. Destiny 2 had so much potential, and they just refused to actually just, it was a management thing, it was a dev thing, but it wasn't like, oh, the management just got bad, like, oh, the management just turned bad and everything was downhill. No, they had that listening problem and actually, like, listening to the community and balancing, sir. That was an issue well before the management got bad. The management being bad was like just one of the nails in the coffin. It just didn't help the situation, but they were already on their way, regardless if like the CEO, the manager, whatever the case, the upper management was being stupid at the time. It didn't matter. That's what I want people to understand. They were acting like everything was sunshine and rainbows before. I don't know where they're getting that from. It was never like that. At one point, and I made a video on my cut commentary channel where I made Destiny 2 content on, and I might start posting on that again, y'all. I'll keep you on the loop on that. But at one point in Destiny 2, what attracted a lot of people to the game, like on the PvP side, was the gunplay. The gunplay was really fun. There was all kinds of guns in the game. You have pulse rifles, hand cannons, scout rifles, linear fusion rifles, regular fusion rifles. You had what was the other? I'm forgetting the name of them. I'm forgetting that auto rifles. They had all kinds of different cool weapons, sidearms, bows, glaives. There was so much that you can use. And it was really fun to kind of figure out how to make the kids work, and it made it really fun. The problem was that it was a very ability spam heavy game at the time. It was just a lot of ability spam. You could win around without even shooting your gun. That's how bad it got. It turned into like, special weapon and ability heavy gameplay. And people just wanted more primary. They wanted, whenever you got special ammo, they wanted to be like, okay, like you earned it, that kind of stuff, And they wanted abilities kind of be toned down, but still be a part of the game, but not so oppressive that you can get away with not even having to even shoot your gun. And that's what we wanted. And they were like, yeah, our focus is gonna be on gunplay. And we're like, cool. They came out with this thing called Void 3.0, and it was like one step forward, 50 steps back off a freaking cliff, did a backflip into a volcano that exploded in Pompeii. And it was downhill since there was never ever any focus on gunplay after that point. So Netties, when we sit here and I hear them sit there and say, yeah, we hear y'all, it's like, do you really? And it's like as I know I'm not the most popular person in the community, but I don't want the same thing that happened with Destiny, that happened with Bungie, that happened over here in Marvel Rivals. Like I said, we did a speed run of all the nonsense that other games go through. We did a speed run in a year. We caught up to Overwatch in a year when it comes to toxicity. Okay, we all the nonsense Battlefield went through. We did a speed run through it. Call of Duty did a speed run. Fortnite speed run. We did a speed run. All that little slow and development side, people learning the game, getting used to certain stuff. No, we fast tracked it. Pro scene and the whole 9 yards content, we fast tracked the whole entire thing, bro. The plane shot up into the air and it turned to a jet, went into space. So just as fast as it got off the ground, don't get it twisted. That junk can easily crash right back down. So like, it's like you kind of, I'm not saying be some dickheads to the devs and everything, but at the same time, like, we kind of be on their case so they actually listen. And that's why I'm annoyed when it comes to, like, pros saying stupid stuff about Devil Dinosaur not being good for the game, blah, 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 blah. When it comes to, content creators who only advocate for stuff that only benefits them, I can't stand those kinds of people because they're going to be the ones that sit there and eventually, slowly ruin the freaking idea. They're going to run people off the game. People are going to be like, oh, yeah, that game has a bunch of toxic people on it, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to play that game. It's a bunch of toxic creators over there. I don't want that to be the identity for this game. But here we are, still being passive aggressive. Stop with this slap on the wrist stuff. No, like get to hard banning these people. Pack them up, ship them out. I know they've sat there, they've started doing it a little bit, but it needs to be like, yo, like we still got the same throwers. I still got Twitch streamers. All they do is boot up their Twitch, and their whole goal, they don't even care to win. They're just throwing. I still got a bunch of one tricks who refuse to learn the game, just straight throwing if they can't get their character. It doesn't make any sense. Can we pack them up? Can we actually start punishing these people? Stop with these 30-minute, stop with these 24-hour. No, pack them up. Pack them up for the month. Hit them with that IP. Hit them with the hardware. Whatever you got to do, pack them up. I know, Smurfing. I know when it comes to like alt accounts, you guys have gave me your thoughts and your opinions on what you think about alt accounts, because I got another account. But if it has to get to the point where we gotta make it towards where you're not even allowed to have an alt account, then so be it. I'm fine with that. If that's what it takes to make the community better, then so be it. Cool. I'm with it. Let's get it. If that's what it takes. But this whole like the devs, like it's like y'all have done a lot of good. Like I praise y'all for season 7, how y'all sat there and improved the neutral game of the game. I know some people thought, it didn't really do much. Some people were talking stupid songs. Oh yeah, the old change didn't do nothing. It did. It did. I don't know where some of them were getting it. It did. Okay, I praise them for the addition of White Fox. I praise them for the Black Cat, adding a character that has a lot of utility. Even though a lot of people don't play her, but still, it's just a character that has that much utility, just the design aspect. Okay, I praise them for it. Devil Dinosaur, liked it. The buffs for this new season, I was just like, okay, y'all are cooking. I was a little bit confused on some, but once I started playing, I was just like, okay, cool. The maps, like okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm rocking with y'all. So it's not like hate. It's not. I'm not hating on y'all. I'm not hating on the devs. But it's at the same time, it's like, can we sit there and be a little bit? Look, if we need to go a season without a brand new character, then fine. That's what it takes. If y'all need a season to not worry about a brand new character, cool. Let's fix everything else, because the foundation is getting a little shaky. Not saying it's doom and gloom, y'all. This game's fine. It's not. People aren't saying the game's not dying. It's, relax. But at the same time, if we fast forward to a year and y'all in a stupid situation with the player base, guess what?
Another Trump voter just called into the news to admit they regret voting for Trump.
I cannot believe I drank the Kool-Aid, okay? I am guilty. I drank the Kool-Aid of Donald J. Trump. This man is ruining the Constitution of the United States.
We're seeing that more and more lately.
Not proud of it. Man enough to say it. I was one of those guys back in 2020.
Because at this point, Trump is one of the most unpopular presidents in history, and he's bleeding support. The economy's a mess. We're still in a war that we didn't ask for or need to be in. Corruption in this administration is running rampant. It's feeling more and more like a dictatorship.
I didn't expect the corruption to be quite as widespread as it's been, and like the self-dealing and the lining of his and his family's pockets. Like that's been a little shocking.
What's really crazy is a lot of these people calling out Trump and speaking out now are lifelong Republicans, conservatives, and diehard Trumpers. And they've literally had enough. I mean, you can hear the regret in real time.
Trump thinks he can post this picture of himself depicting Jesus, and it's just straight up blasphemy. So now Trump and the MAGA movement have officially lost all my support. Christ is and will always be king.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Cleveland, Ohio, Republican. You're on open forum.
Well, I'd like to first say I apologize to all of America and all of Americans. I was a diehard Republican. I cannot believe I drank the Kool-Aid, okay? I am guilty. I drank the Kool-Aid of Donald J. Trump. In fact, I don't even know why we keep saying Donald J. Trump. This man is ruining the Constitution of the United States. What's going on in these southern states, Louisiana and Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, they're taking away the vote from the black man, the fight from the black people that are part of our country. They're stealing their vote. They're making it null and mean nothing. And we need to, I don't know what we need to do, but
it's good to hear somebody on that conservative side actually call it out for what it is, them disenfranchising black people, not literally taking our right.
The wire cutters. Some guy. Just gotta be careful not to cut the cable.
Leave it alone.
I just try to get that as flush as possible.
The Phantom episode I never realized. The rare kind of man left in streaming.
Picture.
Fuck me, say, boy, I gotta keep falling.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their battles. And that's why I treat everybody with respect. And I'm whatever you do, just make sure God is a part.
Do you believe in manifestation?
I believe in prayer. When you go hard, when you grind bad, like you really just stay true to yourself, bro. These are just add-on. I call them add-on. You know? Okay. Nothing too crazy, it's heavy. Everybody spinning is heavy in the chat.
You ever see a clip where Phantom's dancing with his boy, mouthful of food, or probably destroying something? Of course you have. Wild disrespect. And then on the next scene, he's paying for everybody's plate like the proud uncle of the group. That's not a skit. That's Phantom. Not because he's funny, but because he's there. Because he does. Because he built something. And in a world full of voices trying to look like men, Phantom just moves like them.
Phantom.
The first person that helped me throughout a lot was Phantom, and like, bro, like he always told me that he wanted somebody in New York to be able to have the same drive as him, to do the same things that he wanted to do, and to really lock in and grind. Phantom always told me that he wanted that, bro. And when he told me that, he came across me and he found me, like, and I was like one of the most, like, you know, one of the people that like locked in and wanted to do it. It was like, damn, like that shit mean a lot, bro. Like out of everybody, like he looked at me as like a, you know, like damn, he really locked in to what I said and did it. So when I kind of looked at him as a mentor at the time, where he helped me, like, Chay, I know when you start off YouTube, you don't know shit about no ads, you don't know shit about how to do yellow marks or how to make sure you make the right thumbnails and the right titles and stuff like that. So Phantom and the people of AMP kind of helped me with that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm a bitch.
Phantom's not the star of every run, but somehow he holds it together. He helped turn AMP from an idea into a house, into an empire. He's the one Kai Cenat said he wouldn't be here without. Now, I'm pretty sure you can tax my food if you're the reason I'm eating. He's not the loudest in every clip, but the plays move when he does. That's the old code. That's when men didn't talk about leadership. They just took care of business. Venom moves like your older cousin from the 90s who roasts you in public, looks out for you in private, puts money in your hand without ever putting your name in his mouth. Loud, loyal, funny, and the kind of man who doesn't need credit, he just creates.
Now break the gaming game down, because a lot of people be hearing about the game and they don't understand the money that's in.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bag of it. They don't understand.
I ain't got a lot of money that's in it. It's people making $100 million, getting $100 million contract. All that shit.
All they do is sit there
making millions a month. All they do is sit there and play the game. With me, I'm gonna tell you how I personally monetized it, because a lot of people monetize it different ways. So what I did was I created a server, the Grand Theft Auto server, called Grizzly World, right? So it's like Grand Theft Auto, but everything in there is super customizable. You can do whatever you want. I can put that hat in there. I can put that whole outfit in there, this watch, whatever I want to put in there, right? Cars, whatever. $25,000 a month playing this shit. You feel me? The way that I monetize it, I get paid from the server, because you got to pay to get in, right? We got like 90,000 members.
So you fucking killing
90,000 members. Feel me? Hey, I got to pay to get in because it's an opportunity. It's going to create an opportunity for you.
How much did it cost to develop the server?
The reason Phantom stands out now is because this kind of masculinity doesn't exist.
What's the point of that clip?
We've gone from community men to aesthetic men. From big-hearted cousins to brand curated personalities. And now everybody's trying to look like
I'm confused on what the point of that clip was.
a provider. Everyone got a podcast mic and a masculine frame, but nobody's asking, can your people count it? But Venom don't gotta say much. He just bids. He plays on two Gold3 GTA server, then he turns around and builds his own. That's a whole new stream of income. Why? He signs up to benefit. Why? He goes back to the block, and the block loves him because he didn't trade them in to go viral. That kind of dude used to be normal. Now it's rare. We used to see them everywhere. At barbecues, sitcoms, at the basketball court. And then saw you out fight, but also had to laugh at yourself. They want to see led by feel, not by feet. Now, you get algorithms, the aesthetic masculinity, and all this polished solo shields, quote unquote, energy that don't got no room for anybody else.
Battle starts in 5, 4,
And they're gonna swim.
2,
Playful, messy, and still 10 steps ahead.
securing the mission
It
area.
makes you feel like the community still exists. Like the men still got room to be human and still build something meaningful.
The older I get, the more I appreciate friends. You'd be surprised how much you can get through when you allow God to be in your life. And whatever you do, make sure you keep a God in your life, bro. And keep hustling, keep working, stay focused, bro. Ignore the noise. If I did, watch the truth. You feel me? Stay on your path, bro. And don't forget to keep God in your life. I don't know who had these dark times, bro, but pray through it, bro. You'll get through it. I mean, pray through it, you'll get through it. God works really hard. But the devil works hard too. Don't underestimate the devil. The devil will make you rich too. Feel me? Evil can't touch us, bro. I'm not saying right on my back. Evil can't touch us, bro. No matter how bad you how tough the teenage days you can't do us. When you on God's side, unfortunately you already lost the bet.
You talking every day?
Try it.
Yeah. So yeah, this ain't just about them. This is about what we lost and what we still need. It's about the boys watching this right now, trying to figure out how to move through the world of the game. Not a model, not a podcast host, a man. He laughs when he shows up, when he plays without bragging. Phantom don't speak, he lives it. That's walking by example. That's why it's serious. We're going to keep finding the ones who still carry the code. We're going to remind us of what masculinity feels like when it's really getting loved. This is 90s masculinity versus that. Subscribe if they said, because the next one's on you.
Love the video, man. I mean, shout out to Bro. Sometimes I like to tap into some of the smaller channels. People earned, not given, kind of just giving his perspective on fandom on the internet. Kind of sat back and really didn't take too much of this vid because, I just really want to see what direction he would take it. But, I agree with everything he was saying. I don't know Phantom personally, but from what I see, how he trades himself on the internet, good dude, stand-up dude, and, it's definitely a lost art nowadays with men in general, where it's a lot of this. I'm this. I move like this. This is what I do. And it's a lost art where it's just like just show up and get it done. Let the action speak for it. You know what I'm saying? And just be real. To just be a authentic person that's not trying to take advantage. Just is enjoying the moment, being present, and good things happen to people that are, do good things. If you continue to do negative things, continue to slime people out, be fake, it's no surprise when you get slimed out in the end, So I think Phantom has definitely been a good example of that. I'd like to think that I'm a good example of that. And a lot of other people like that within, the world. Let's just take it out of the creative space. But it's definitely something that's lacking nowadays. So y'all let me know your thoughts on this one. Again, shout out to Earn Not Giving, smallest channel. Video caught my attention. Only has 4,000 views, but I thought it could be a good learning opportunity. So I want to bring it to y'all. Love y'all, PJ. Call my name first. Love y'all.
What you want to do is save hundreds when everybody makes you customize your contract. That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the game? I can ask. But it's not constant. Only pay for what you need.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I'm gonna finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
I'm ready. What's your play? You're about to see.
Nature of Hulk.
Get on the charger.
Beauty for resources. You require your team
In
to
here.
help you a lot with your engagement.
Don't touch it again.
To make one minor mistake and get caught out, get demaxed, or get killed. Now, I'm not saying that the character is bad. He's at the very top of B tier, most likely A if you have the skill, because he can absolutely carry, but he isn't going to be this perfect character in every situation. And very similar to Thor, he's a true offset, which means that he just requires something else to take on the responsibilities that a tank normally would have, or at least someone to split the responsibilities with, because he doesn't want to just hold open stage either. He wants to set the terms of his engagements. He wants to cycle in and out. He never really wants to hold or contest open space for very long, and he might generally be a worse solo tank than Thor is, because he has no ability to poke from range, unlike Thor. The last of the features is a character you might not expect, and it's Magneto. Magneto is a character that a lot of people kind of think about him just always being the best. And while that generally has been true, I think now more than ever, Magneto is struggling. Because if we look at his matchups across the board, characters like Angela and Rose can bully him, Thor can kidnap him, Sting can swing through his barrier, he doesn't really interact that favorably with a lot of side characters, and Brawl is special. Characters that can close the gap on him. Characters like Devil Giant. Characters like Groot. They're all walking all over him. And if he can easily get caught out of position and killed because he doesn't have any form of mobility. If he takes one step too forward, he's getting run up on. He's getting rolled, he's getting grabbed, he's getting jumped on. And there are a lot of cases where Magneto literally feels cosmetic or he's being bullied nonstop. And I think that if I talk about the list of characters that can hard carry, I think Magneto is the opposite end of that spectrum, where most of his value comes from his ability to contain, to deny. But there's so many strong threats right now that containing and denying is very difficult to pull off consistently. Not saying it's impossible, you can definitely do that on Mag, but when you're spending your entire game just trying to stop what the enemy team is doing, and there's more things that you can do alone, you really end up relying on your team to make sure that the things that slip through the cracks are being dealt with. And we all know how that's like in ranked. It can be very frustrating to try to play Mag, try to deal with everything. Oh, this person's in my backline, I have to bubble here. Oh, they're solo-losing, I have to hit the rock. Oh, I'm getting kidnapped. Who's gonna save me? No one? Okay. You know, this is just a cycle that happens a lot on Magneto lately. And I'm not trying to say this character is terrible or bad. I think that in compositions where everyone's really doing their job, you see the power of Magneto as a person that can keep everyone in check, adding small advantages to your team and small disadvantages to the enemy team. I also do think that if you are forced to solo tank, which no one should ever be solo tanked, by the way, but if you have to, Magneto is probably the most impactful one because he can be cosmetic and he's providing value by not being bullied and not dying. You just have to play fairly passive and focus mostly on your responsibilities to the point, objectives, holding space, denying space, and not as much to off-angling, denying of angles, trying to playmate. You know, you can't do a lot of that as a solo tank, but he has the tools to at least live and protect himself and still get value from range. Now we gotta move up to the A tier. These are characters that are dominating in certain situations. They are establishing the meta, and they're characters that are very, very good in the way that the meta is evolving going forward. So first off is Cap, a character that you might be sleeping on, you might not appreciate, and a character that can be frustrating in rank. I think the lower in rank you are, the worse and worse Cap is, and the higher you climb, the better and better he gets. And there's a simple reason why. Cap's value oftentimes comes from attention and trading resources unfairly. And what I mean by that is you cannot be ignored completely on Cap. You get on a Loki and he has to teleport or use his totems. You get on an Invis and she has to shield or jump away or push you away, and you're relentless. Unless you're answered, you are back in and back in and back in. And if they want to answer you, they have to put a lot of attention into you. So not only are you baiting out attention, but you're baiting out time and you're baiting out cooldowns. But the problem in a lot of ranks is you do all these things and your team is sitting main, sucking their thumb, doing who knows what. Your Spider-Man is set up on an infinite flank, just, you know, waiting and waiting and waiting, or chasing a health pack, or doing who knows what Spider-Man plays good. There's a million situations where you're creating a crazy amount of value, but no one on your team is doing anything on that value. So the simple way to do this is just to play a dive bomb. Characters that go in with you and they can't get stunned because the stun was used on you, right? The sleep was used on you. The totems were used on you. So now you've paved the way. But even not in dive situations, even in like hybrid comps, or maybe you're playing Cap with a post comp, as you climb higher and higher, when you bait out Soulbond, when you bait out totems, when you bait out Loki teleport, your team presses W relative to the advantage and the attention that you're soaking up, right? That is extremely important. That's something that lower ranked players don't do. So I understand there's a disconnect with Cap. Like, a lot of people think this character is unplayable, and really, he is in a lot of ranks. He's hard to play. I'm not saying he's unplayable. You could definitely carry. We just have to play a lot better. You have to oftentimes play him in a very kill-focused type of way. But the character is just a character that just scales with the skill of the lobby. The better, more competitive the lobby is, the better Cap gets. And he just becomes a character that is so good in basically any composition, but of course he's very, very good with dive. And then an additional bonus point with Cap being probably the best synergizing tank in rank for White Fox. Because your ability to set up on these aggressive angles, constantly give your White Fox the help. White Fox can constantly heal you and help you kill targets, and then eventually you can just pivot backline with her ultimate. Like, there's so much playmaking and setups that you can do with that duo that's just so powerful. So yeah, this character's undoubtedly A.
I'm hard here to introduce Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus sauce. Okay, at this point, guys, why are you paying me? I'm serious, y'all just got a hand model. That's what you need. You just need a hand model at this point.
New jalapeno citrus salsa. The sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart. Get ready for the summer of Disney.
No way. From the biggest.
Undoubtedly A. The next up in the A tier is actually Doctor Strange. And you might be a bit surprised because he's ahead of quite a few characters, but Doctor Strange is a complete menace right now. He's so freaking strong. In this team up or not, very good team up, but he doesn't require it in order to be good. He just does a lot of things very well because he can poke and play with poke comps, but his brawl capability is extremely high. So when we're seeing a lot of these compositions forming, hyper brawl compositions, while Magneto doesn't really have the ability to brawl, Strange does. And it's kind of interesting how Magneto can play with a dive comp because he's good at enabling it. He can bubble them in and enable that composition. Strange wants to play in that brawl mode. It's almost like they're kind of similar where they both play in poke, but they both branch out in different ways. And right now, brawl is just so good and so played that Strange is extremely good at playing with it. Whether you're playing with the Dino, whether you're playing with the Groot, whether you're playing with any other brawler, you know, we talked about the Thors, we talked about the Hulks, like he's a very good synergy with any of those strong off tanks. And he's also just not going to be bullied the same way Magneto is because of his slide ability. He gets chomped on, if he gets grabbed, if he gets displaced, he can fly back to his team, play safe for a while, and then get back in. Unlike Magneto, that typically will just use his bubble as a neutral, and there will often be a time where he just gets kidnapped and he can't do anything about it, or he gets kidnapped so far that even if he bubbles himself, he's still dead before he can fully get out of fight. So Strange just has more tools to actually keep himself alive, trade blows, play in a brawl, play in a poke, and be very impactful. And another thing about Strange is that he is also a character that can play the main or off-tank position, because there are ways to play Strange in both. So like Strange can do the jobs of a Magneto or another tank that holds space, contests objectives, plays front lines, mitigates damage, all that stuff, right? But he also can play the role of off-angling, going for pickoffs, denying a Hela that's flanking, denying a Jean, healing for your supports. Like there's so many different things that you could do on his character that you have a healthy mix of playmaking and the ability to do the fundamentals of what a tank needs. And you can be a lot more free and flexible when there's not another off-tank with you. Like, if you have that Emma or Groot or Mag or whoever, they can take on a lot of those main responsibilities more, and then you can be more freed up and flexible to contest these angles and just kind of ignore the front line a lot. But then when you have the Thors and the Hulks, you can enable them by doing the core responsibilities. And I think that combination of everything really makes Strange this perfect character that is just good in so many situations. Is one of the best tanks to play if you're only playing one. If you're only going to learn one tank, it should definitely be Strange. Not even just for the portal, because everyone needs to know how to portal, but really, he's just that tank that doesn't really have any spot where he can't find value in, and he plays well in so many comps. I have to recommend him. Now, next up in the A tier, we have to talk about Groot. Groot is one of the best characters in this game, and honestly, you could justify him being an S tier, but the reason I'm putting him in A is because, especially on the maps he's good in, which are a lot of maps, a lot of choke point rivals, he can feel impressive to play into. He goes over the top of every single type of brawl. He can roll off your supports, he can create isolations, and he builds up his ultimate incredibly quickly. And it is flat out one of the best ultimates in the game, because if they don't have a defensive ult, just with any team pressure, you win the fight. And even if they do, if you have some form of combo, a Moon Knight ult, a Namor ult, a Bucky ult, or whatever, you can kill through. And that just makes it such a good trump card. You can just force team fight wins. In a game that is all about who can win more team fights, Groot just goes over the top of all of that. Now, I'm not saying he's this perfect character. There's a couple of things you gotta consider. Number one, if he can't get wall value consistently, if they're constantly breaking his walls, that can be difficult to play around. High mobility are things that you can interact with, but it's a little trickier when the opponent's not playing front to back, but it goes up and over and around your walls. And then the third is that Groot is pretty weak. He likes to trade damage, but he's not self-sufficient, or what I would call self-sufficient. Typically, he wants triple support, or he wants a lot of heals, he wants that massive triple support in order to function at his peak. And if he does get these things, he feels unstoppable, and if he doesn't, he feels okay, still good, but not as dominant as he would with it. Now, also, you can't really play him on every single map, but parts of the maps are super open, and he doesn't want to have to burst his walls or use all those resources in order to just block up the opponent. He wants to be able to get to the opponent and then use those to get an advantage in the fight. So you don't want to use all your resources early. It's almost like if you were Maxio and you had to bubble yourself, bubble a teammate, use all your shield, and now you're right in front of your opponent. It's like, well, yeah, you're here now, but you don't have any cooldowns to fight them with, so it's going to be hard to win. Similar to Groot, and some maps make that difficult. The last one in the A tier, this is the question I've gotten asked a million times because I've become one of the de facto tank pool guys. I basically only play tank pool on stream, or I mainly play tank pool on stream. And here's the thing about these big nerfs. Tank pool is undoubtedly a lot worse than he was before. Like, a lot weaker than he was before. You can feel it in the damage you're dealing. It doesn't feel like it's hitting as hard. You can feel it when you're ulting. You are not immortal. You definitely need your cooldowns or your team to go in with you. And a lot of people are thinking that tank pool is dead. But here's the thing about tank pool. He was undoubtedly a top 2 tank in the game before these changes, and this might knock him to 4 or 5 on that list, but it just straight up does not knock him off that list. And you might be like, but Mills, I can't get any value in my ultimate anymore, or Mills, I can't actually post people out of positions anymore. And the reality is, well, individually, he's going to have weaker matchups, and he is going to feel most to play for a while. Like, that's just, there's no getting around it. When a character gets nerfed this heavily, they feel like they're throwing jabs when they were throwing haymakers, right? But the character can still be played in any type of composition. Post, dive, wall, doesn't matter. The character can off-angle and force King Graves and Hell of the Namors out of these angles in a way that other tanks just simply cannot. He's a character that can trade damage unfairly with his really powerful bubble and his distance range damage, especially later on when he does scale those pistols that he's still doing a lot of damage, and his ultimate is still an amazing ultimate. Like, it doesn't matter that you're not Thanos and unkillable with ults, because you're getting your ultimate before everyone else. That's what makes it strong. And if you get any form of coordination, you ult in Viz and shoot at her and walk on her with your team, she's still dying before anyone else has ults. Like, these are still possible things on the character. And it's not as easy for you to do things all by yourself. But the fact that Tankful could do things all by himself before was why the character was absurdly broken. And I know you Tankful fans are probably not going to want to hear this, but speaking as a Tankful main myself, the character was broken and needed nerfs. And not slap on the wrist nerfs like he's been getting. He needed real nerfs, and they really nerfed him. But when you nerf one of the best characters in the game, and it doesn't matter if you nerfed him by quite a bit, he's not suddenly unplayable. He's not suddenly trash, and there's no mistake here. I could argue that Tankful is still S tier. I'm not going to argue it here. I think, especially in ranked play, he's going to be a stage below that. And some of the value he gets is like the fact that he can play in whatever composition. So that's not really, raw power or flexibility there. But the character is just still really, really, really good. And I don't want you to think that this character's unplayable, and I don't want you to think this character's even bad. And I would even argue that there's cases where this character is still ban-worthy, but I'm not going to argue it because I'm just going to be abusing this character and fine with this character when everyone thinks he's weak. Like, once again, Tankful just doesn't have true bad matchups. He can adapt how he plays in any situation, and while he is a true off tank, he can take on some of the responsibilities of a main tank because he does do primarily damage from range. He also has a skill that can protect himself and mitigation that can protect him and his team. The character is still busted. It still fundamentally breaks the rules of the game with how fast it goes to targets. And I highly recommend it if you have even a bit of aim. This character is still worth learning. But if you want to get the exact same value as you did before on him, you're probably going to need about 5% better aim. So improve your aim, and you can get similar results to old Tankful on new Tankful with just, trying to increase your skills on the character. Now we're looking at the S tier character, and I'm not putting these in any order, but these are just the notable standouts. First off is Emma. This character was just under the surface before, and I think her buffs pushed her up enough to where she's just, outpacing a lot of the other characters that play in her similar spot. She's good against those Dinos, she can actually grab him. She's good against a lot of dives, she can grab them and possibly apply pressure, and she's just generally good to pair alongside basically every other tank because she stabilizes the composition and allows you to create a lot of space for your DPS and your support. It's hard to walk on them. She's one of the most punishing characters to, get walked on, and when enemies are trying to force a brawl, Emma can be that character to help enable a brawl, or it can be that character to deny or shut down a brawl. And that extra bit of damage reduction with the Dino Form and Ultimate is just making her all the more survivable. So the character is in just a really good spot. Now, I don't think she's like running away with S tier or anything like that. I think she's a reasonable option among other reasonable options. And the gap between S and B tier is pretty thin. Like, really, you could put all these characters in like A or S tier, or all of these at various degrees, because they're all really good and really close. It's not like some of the other metas in the past, and it's certainly not like how the DPS part of this list is going to look, where the DPS are so much further apart from each other. Like the S tiers and the DPS, they're like leagues ahead of A, and A's leagues ahead of B. That's just really not the case here. It's kind of like all shades of S or shades of A or whatever you want to say. But Emma undoubtedly gets her props in this meta because she just lines up what's going on, is good against what's being played, and I think she's just a great character to have in your bag. Now, the other character in that tier that I wanted to talk about, remember, this is not in order. Like, I think some of these characters might be better than the final character we'll talk about, but I do want to talk about them in this order, and it's Venom. Now, when we talk about a dive meta, when we talk about the game has moved to a dive meta in 7.0, and it's still dive is still really good in 8.0. It's probably not quite as good because there's more brawl, and brawl does have some natural advantages against dive, but it's still good. Venom is the dive enabler. He's the dive catalyst. He's the one that allows opportunities for the Daredevil Black Cats, and he's the one that really makes Jeff good and makes White Fox even better. The character is the best all-in dive. He is the one that creates all of the really powerful interactions with the rest of the comp, and he's undoubtedly in a better state than he's been in basically the entirety of Marvel Rivals. He's in such a good position because he's good against triple, he's hard to catch and kill, tenacity often helps him more than any other character, and with him banned or without him, I think a dive comp is hard to create. Like, you can definitely create it, but he makes the dive comp the best. Don't even get me started about his really powerful team up with Jeff and his really powerful team with Hela. The character is really good, and if you want to play dive, you need to have Venom in your bag, in my opinion. Like, you really could have any number of mobility heavy tanks in your bag, but Venom is the dive guy. He is the best guy to be playing with. Any of the DPS that have high mobility, Venom is the sponge. Because you got to think about it. We just talked about with Cap, someone that can bait attention, someone that can bait cooldown. There's no one that does that better than Venom. He baits so much attention, so much cooldown, and he hits hard, putting people in big positions that allow his team to clean up. It's so strong, so powerful, and it doesn't really matter what composition you're going to play. If you have a really well-executed Jeff plus Venom, Daredevil, dive, it just doesn't matter. They're just dead. Like, they're literally getting hit by the Venom, beamed, and the Venom's getting healed, and they're taking damage from the Jeff, and the Daredevil comes and cleans it up after they have to use cooldowns to sustain through that, and then they Joshua. It's so strong, so good, and it's one of the reasons why you're going to get in trouble in the first place. Venom's existence. But this last character we got to talk about, I hesitate on putting him in the end because it's early, and I'm gonna be honest here. It is very early.
Leave it on the chart.
Him as like the best tank in the game, or even one of the best. But I'm putting him here anyways because I know undoubtedly he's going to work the meta. Devil Dino is insane. One of the best tanks in the game, and there's a lot of reasons for why this guy is so good, so let's break him down. So, number one, he is hard to freaking kill. He has so much health, and it's almost to the point with his health and sustain, the bleed and the damage and the life he's gaining, he is hard for even all-in post comps to kill. So when you have a comp built around dealing damage to this guy, you've got a punish, you've got a buff, you've got a G, you've got all this stuff. A Devil Dino that's playing appropriately, they still feel hard to kill. Like, it's still very, very difficult to kill a Devil Dino, even with the comp all around it. So what happens if you're playing a comp that doesn't have large amounts of health or tank busting, right? You just can't kill this guy. He feels so impossible to kill. He got way too much HP, and if that was all he had, that would be fine. You could counterplay, you could ignore him, but then he has a really powerful displacement CC. Very, very strong displacement CC that allows you to chuck tanks way out of position in a very similar way to like Angela can and Thor can, but not quite the same. But in the neutral, he can just chuck someone that's out of position. He can grab divers and prevent them from disengaging. He can grab people through the air. He has a beam that constantly grounds and slows targets, which allows him to deal with slides. It allows him to help heal divers because he can slow their disengages and apply pressure while they're in, not to mention grab them. So you combine all these things. He brawls really well. He's very hard to interact with. He trades damage very well. He can stop dives. Like, he has a little bit of something for everybody, and he does it in a very simplified way. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if as people get better and better and better, super high elos in pro play, people can just play dive and eat dino comps. Like, he doesn't have a crazy amount of ways to interact with dive. He has some good ones, but you can probably play a comp that specifically targets supports it. You can crush the comp, you know, you can fight what you want to fight. And a super well-played poke comp can probably keep his distance, create isolation, poke them from range so you get a sizable advantage, and then clean up, right? Never allow the Brawl comp to fight on its terms. But for rank, Brawl has always been the best comp. It has always been. Because everyone, 5-man, 6-man, run at somebody, it just works, it just kills. And Dino does that better than any other character that's ever existed in this freaking game. So, Brawl already being like automatically better in rank, and then the character being so strong in it to the point where it probably will impact pro play as well, and high rank play, means that Dino is just this extreme Omega level threat. That you're really gonna have to come up with a way to enable your Dinos, enable your Brawl better, or come up with a strategy to deny opponents. And I think there are strategies that exist. There are characters that can go up and over a Dino. Characters like Squirrel Girl, surprisingly. Characters like Brute that can create, you know, isolations and deny the Dino's healing in pivotal moments. Any amount of anti-heal, from Gambit to Blaze, is actually usually good against this character. Like, there are a lot of counter strategies. We'll probably break that down in the video in the future. Let me know if you want that video in the comments down below. But the core message here is that Devil Dino is very good, he's very impactful, and he's not that difficult to get a lot of value from, so he's 100% going to be a very strong and consistent part of the meta. You need to know how to play with him or have a counter plan against him if you want to win consistently straight up. That gives some awards to the tanking category. For best in slot solo carry tank, I still think I have to give that to Hulk. He has so much playmaking, and the fact that he builds ultimate so quickly, it's very, very good for getting clean team fights and snowballing the game. Stop putting him here. Let's talk about best in slot on console. I think that Tankful is actually going to be worse on console with a little bit less consistent aim. But I think on console, the character that I would recommend playing the most this patch is actually just Devil Dino. I think he is going to be so good, and he doesn't require any advanced movement tech, so I do highly recommend Devil Dino here. If you're looking for a character maybe not as meta, Strain is also so very good. Now, we finally get to move up or on to the DPS roster, and very much unlike the tank roster, the DPS roster has some very, very good characters, but also some very, very bad ones. And yeah, there are two characters actually in F tier, and a character that might surprise you, I have as the worst character in the entire game right now, is Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is borderline unplayable right now, and you might be shocked by this. Hawkeye just dominated my lobby the other day, and yes, that's true for literally every character they can dominate your lobby, but the reality of Hawkeye is that he is too weak to anything with mobility. There's too much mobility in the game, and he's too squishy. That's just straight up. One Silence, one Star-Lord, one Daredevil, one Venom, one Cap, Thankful. It literally doesn't matter. Just jump on this guy and kill him. He can't run away. He has no CC, or rather no hard CC. And if you're losing to a Hawkeye in a game, it's because you're not fighting him. You're not looking at him. You're not contesting him. You're not chasing him down. And I'm seeing the best of the best Hawkeyes in the entire game struggling in elos way lower than their normal rank right now because of the power level of this character. He's in his worst state he's ever been in, and this meta does not favor him. You think, hey, they're playing Brawl, I can play Hawkeye. The problem is there's just too much HP, and it's just too hard for you to get impactful shots in. People are just walking on top of you and just murdering you or jumping you and diving you. The only time that Hawkeye even has a chance is in a pure poke meta, and right now there are two different types of strategies, Brawl and Dive, that are also very good, and even in a head-to-head poke, he loses to most other pokers. So really, I cannot recommend Hawkeye.
Are here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus sauce. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet, tangy citrus texture.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Perfect take, Spider! Way to go, Spider! This is gonna hurt.
character I have in F tier is Scarlet Witch. I don't really think this character is playable outside of the lowest of elos. As you start to scale as a player, the character's value drops off, and it doesn't matter how much better you get at this character, you're going to be slowly losing value every single rank you go up. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the best Scarlet Witch in the world, the more and more you win, the harder and harder the character gets to play, irrespective of your skill. She has a kit that really relies on opponents not being able to aim. It really relies on the enemies not being able to respond to you appropriately. And the better people understand how to aim, understand how to respond to you, or calm or under pressure, the value you get just decreases and decreases and decreases. You have a very telegraphed ultimate, damage far too slow, and I just don't really recommend this character if you want to play a character and it scales with you long term. I can understand learning this character because you like the character and the character is fun and you just want to play the character, but if you want a character that you're going to play forever and scale with you, scale with your skill, help you continue to develop and come with you as you try to challenge higher and higher elos, Scarlet Witch is going to not really be that character. It's going to be very hard for that character to be Scarlet Witch. I'm not saying you can't climb to the highest elos. I think you can climb, literally with any character in this game, you could probably get to top 500 with if you were dedicated enough. But the reality of Scarlet Witch is that her kit doesn't give you enough skill expression, and its base value is not enough to compete. Like, I actually think the Thing is easier to play than Scarlet Witch, right? But unlike Scarlet Witch, the Thing's base value, low skill value, is a ton even in the highest of elos, where Scarlet Witch is not. So that's kind of the difference. It's not just about skill expression, it's also the base value of the character. It's not enough to compete in the higher elos either. And if you ever made that the case, the character would probably just slaughter everyone. So I think she's in a good spot the way she is, but she's not a reasonable character to put in a mid to high elo tier list any higher than S tier. Let's move up to D. I think these are good to handy guns. Or in the right situations, but overall they're a bit lacking. Number one is Iron Man. This character has not meaningfully been changed in a long time, even being this weak. He's just one of the weakest flyers because he has no way to dodge or deny enemies just shooting at him, refire. There's so many things that can ground him, especially like now, dinos, your brawl characters are randomly grounding you, in addition to just buggy grounds and random things, Star Wars clipping you out of the sky. And even if he had all these weaknesses, if he had some great strength, it'd be worth it, but he has an ultimate that's really hard to get off consistently. He has damage that's really not that high for range, and he could be ignored or killed in most lobbies you're in. Now, if you're truly great, you could maybe make him work, but I do think that this character needs something major in order to make him competitive. The next up in D tier is Black Widow, a character that I think can be okay to good in the right hands, and when I say the right hands, I mean like 5 people in the world. I mean, very, very few people can get this character to do anything, but those who can make this character a reasonable boat threat because she can go up and over some of these longer distance boat characters like Hela and Wynn from the furthest of ranges. Now, I do think that Mantis change does hurt her a little bit. Getting extra speed boost is not as valuable as more damage and helping you reach some breakpoints on some characters. But really, the character is just too niche, too unreliable, to put it here. But I'm not saying the character's unplayable because she does have a lot of skill. And unlike Scarlet Witch, she can scale with your skill into the highest of elos. You just have to have some immense skill to make her work. And I'm not going to lie to you, if you have the skill to make Black Widow work, you would be like 10 times more of a demon if you just played Jean Grey. The last one is Blade, and they buffed this character so much, and he's still never reasonable, never strong, never a reliable DPS. Now, this isn't to say he's unplayable, because while I think his core problem is the lack of burst damage, because he has a little bit of everything else. He has reasonable mobility, good sustain, he just doesn't have burst damage, so you can't just get up hit in the neutral like almost every other character can. He can roll for sustained periods, and I think that there are some comps right now that just want to do that. They just want to trade blows. Him being able to be in there with his dino trading blows, that could be pretty good. It could be pretty powerful. And Anti, of course, like I said, is really powerful. So there are some spots, but it's very deep. And I think overall, there's just so many powerful DPS, it's hard to justify playing Blade when there's so many that just do similar things to him, but just do it better.
We gotta go help people customize and save hundreds of Liberty Neutral. Where's the golf carts?
There it is. Only pay to cheat.
It's all you can eat for just $15.99. That's $15.99 for all the double crunch shrimp, boneless wings, and riblets that you can eat. That's unlimited value for $15.99. Applebee's all you can eat for $15.99.
Better. Now let's move on up to the C tier, and at the very, very bottom of C tier, I actually have Black Panther. And he's kind of similar to the Thing in the fact that he's very polarizing. He has really good matchups, people that he can't farm, and then a whole bunch of characters that he can do nothing against. And oftentimes you're going to get 1 or 2 successful engagements on this character, and opponents are going to swap to deal with you. But the reality of Black Panther is that he just has one style, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And because he has such a long downtime, if you can't get that one engagement to go well consistently, you're just not doing anything. You're putting your team in a 5v6. Now, this doesn't mean he's unplayable, because I think he can stomp in the situations that he lines up in. And especially if you combine him with another diver, maybe another dive DPS and a dive tank, you can just be something that follows up with your team and goes over the top. If you have space, if you have a little window of engagement, you can turn that into mass amounts of damage out of nowhere that's hard to react to. But he's just a bit too easy to counter to put anything higher than here. Even if you play him in a perfect dive composition, I think that there are other ETFs that you could probably play in that slot and just be a little bit better. But I can't put him in the lowest of tiers because there are lobbies that he's dominating and taking over. And I do think he has those matchups that are really lopsided in his favor as well. The next in the C tier, I have a character that is actually really good in the right hands, can actually win consistently. And while a lot of people thought originally that the rework was super terrible, there was some silent buffs that they added to him that made the character reasonable all around, maybe even a little stronger than he was before, but he's nowhere near how he has been in past metas where he was absolutely dominant. There's only a few more players that can really get a reasonable amount of value on him, and he doesn't really get a lot of playmaking. He has a spatial denial kit with one way to generate a sizable event, which is his slam. It's on a 20-second cooldown. So you really need to be getting value out of his spatial denial. And there's so many hit scans and so many random grounding things, and now grounding things for Dino. There's so many random things that just constantly harass you, disrupt you, make it hard for you to play the character. And yeah, you can carry under the right conditions. I think like triple support with an Ultron, all-in strategy can still be good, but reasonably, he's not gonna be one of the most impactful DPS in this meta. Now, last up in the C tier is a character that you might be surprised by, Squirrel Girl, who did get a pretty nice buff, being able to refresh the cooldowns a bit faster. But why is Squirrel Girl just in C tier all of a sudden? Well, number one, this character is actually underrated. I think this character is actually really strong against certain comps or on certain maps. You play maps with really tight choke holds, he's really good against Penny Bunker, Roof Bunker, he's good against hard brawl comps. If you can't miss your shots, or if everyone's funneled into one area, the character outputs more pound for pound damage than any other character and builds their ultimate faster than any other character too. So those combined are really good. And the character is really bad when characters are trying to flank you and shoot you and dive you. So anything with mobility, any Psylocke, any Star-Lord. So it's hard to make this character super meta in the highest kilos, but I think she's an amazing tool to whip out when they're playing hyper brawl comps or bunker comps, which are more and more common instead more common than anything else. There are a few characters that can help put enough damage to just kill a Dino with the neutral. Squirrel is that character. You can stun the Dino multiple times, you can just shred him, you can shoot him, you can stun him into ult. There's so many things you can do there. There's a lot of characters that are just trying to stand and trade with you straight up, and she dominates any post matchup. She's good as long as you have some cover against characters like Jean Grey, characters like Hela, characters like Bucky and Honey. She's good legitimately against all these characters because they can't move to chase her down. They can't come at her like a Psylocke can or a Star-Lord. Now, if one of those characters are in the game and they're good, they're killing you every single time. You're a free lick for that. But the reality is, in the spots that you're good in, you're so good that you can oftentimes snowball one fight to the next. And there are times when you win a fight with your ultimate, you got the entry kills, by the time you clean up that fight, you already have 30-40%. You can do it again the next fight. It snowballs like crazy. So I think this character's a bit slept on, and in this meta especially, I think she's actually finding a little bit of new life, plus that upside buff is really nice. Now moving on up to the C tier, these are characters that are doing well in the meta and are reasonable to main, play in a lot of different situations, and can even hard carry a ton of games in the right hands. The first character here we gotta put is Magic. I think Magic is still in a reasonable spot. She still can win a lot of 1v1s in isolation. She has reasonable brawl capabilities. She can dive. And overall, I think if you're good enough at this character, you can make her work. Unfortunately, though, there are characters that I think are just kind of overpowering what Magic can do. She's a character that does nothing wrong, but doesn't do enough things oppressive enough or strong enough compared to some other characters. That doesn't mean that she's not strong or she can't carry, because she can, especially if you have the skill to back her up. And spoiler alert, I do think that on console she can still be very, very good. But with the rise of certain types of characters seeing play like Emma and just more powerful options at the highest of levels, I do feel like Magic sometimes gets left behind a bit.
Happening Opus, and I'm not saying anything but when you utilize the B roll, you can smart flipping, you can flip screen, transcribe, you can put the caption, and it puts the hashtag name that triple lets you seamlessly post across multiple platforms. The number two thing, people love saving money. And it's also saving money because it's saving me a ton of time by not having to do any of this editing myself. But most importantly, it got results. It got
Magic sometimes gets left behind a bit. Now next on the B tier, we actually have Iron Fist, a character that is a lot better this season than in previous seasons. The character
Drink it.
Great brawler. And
You're not eating the fucking nipple, you drinking the milk.
Well, going backline and trying to play dive is difficult because you don't do a lot of burst damage backline with
drink the milk.
Doing just a flat damage, you do percentage base. That percentage base is great when you're in a brawl meter, trading blows with the dino, fighting brutes, running in with your team, and running it down. The character can be a great extension of a brawl, or be a great anti-brawler, or someone that is trading with the enemy brawl in a brawl mirror. So I actually think it's a really, really good season for Iron Fist. He still struggles in the same things that he did before. He's not good at fighting DPS in isolation. He can't force a Jean Grey out of an off angle. And he's not good at hitting backlines in a full dive. There are better characters that do that. But in a brawl, and in a brawl meta, he shines more than most DPS, and that's lining up really good for him. Doesn't mean he can be played in every situation. Doesn't mean he'll be good in every situation. But when he's good, he's still really freaking good. The last up at the very top of B tier, and honestly teetering into the A tier, is Mr. Frickin' Fent. This character got so many good buffs, and he is so strong right now in the right hands because he just has more uptime. He has more uptime, period. More damage, more big body modes, more ability to go backline and get out safely, and more ultimates consistently with that ult nerf plus just increase in damage and uptime means that he's building ults fast. And oftentimes he's beating supports to ultimates. He can use that ult to typically kill isolated targets or sometimes even duo targets after he's baited out certain amounts of cooldown. While Mr. Fent's core identity before was maybe anti-dive, he's a little bit worse at doing that, even though he's fine into a dive. Now, he just plays really, really good with a brawl or even with the dive. Being able to cleave through the enemy team, go backline, and be untradeable after he's gotten a lot of value, and with just more uptime on his mobility, the character can play in a lot of different comps and do a lot generally. I think this character is really, really good right now. Really underrated still, and if he gets buffed any more than this, he might become legitimately hard meta. That's how strong he is in rank. And similar to Wanda, he has a really low skill floor, where he's easy to pick up and get a lot of value. And character scale extremely far, even to the highest friends to play. And that's why I think he's one of those really easy pick up and go characters that has a lot of depth, nuance, and skill expression as he climbs further and further. Now, another character I wanted to talk about in the B tier is Hela. I think Hela is still really strong in the right hands. If you have great aim, you can still make Hela work. The problem with Hela is that there are just better characters that do what Hela does. at higher tiers here. There are characters like Jean, even Namor, her partner with the synergy, is going to be able to contest off angles and get pickoffs easier than Hela is. And I do think that from Hela's ultimate to Hela's inability to move all that much and, only has one form of mobility to get out of a dive means that she's vulnerable to dive. She doesn't really have as much playmaking as other characters do, and she's super reliant on you just going dink dink and with buffs to other characters. It's hard to justify her unless this is just the type of thing you're good at and the other characters are banned and you just have to play Hela because of that. Now, I do need to talk about Moon Knight, who's also in the B tier. I think Moon Knight's actually a bit better this season than the past because Groot is taking a step up. Characters like Dino are really good, and having a character that is very raw damage oriented is great. He's still weak to getting go, he is still weak, but with that buff to him, he's going to be better at dealing with divers or a single diver than he was before. Full dive comps, I can't recommend playing him against necessarily, but you play against a poke comp, you play against a brawl comp, and I think he really does shine right now in this meta. He still builds ult so quickly, and in a lot of ways, he has a lot of the same strengths as Squirrel Girl, but he's a bit more reliable and a bit better against dive. I really cannot emphasize enough how strong this character snowballs. You win one fight, you build up your ultimate again, you win another fight with it. You can just win fight after fight after fight. And even ultimate trade fights, you can find ways to get pickoffs during it. So I have to put him really high up in B tier, and I think he's a reasonable character all around, even if he does have some pretty sizable weaknesses that can be exploited by certain characters like Sai and Star-Lord. Now moving on to the A tier, our most packed tier. These are characters that are all very good in the right hands, very good in the meta, and recommendations by me to play or have in your bag to continue to compete through the meta as you get to the highest tiers of play. And at the very bottom, I actually have Bucky, a character that is actually in some ways better and in some ways worse than he was in the past. While his matchups against a lot of mobility-heavy characters are a bit worse because he doesn't have that anymore, the anti-movement ability for 1 second. He still is good against those characters. He doesn't completely shut them down, but he still has a lot of ways to kill them. And the compensation he got is just a lot of raw damage, which is good right now. Being able to pump front lines with damage, being able to pump dinos with damage, being able to pump Thors and Hulks and all these characters with a ton of damage is really good. And the only requirement, I think, to make Bucky truly good is you need a frontline of your own. He's one of the worst characters to play alongside mobility-heavy tanks because you need a frontline to play from and through. You need someone to mitigate damage on the front line, help you set up hooks, and help body block or help to collapse people that you do hook. But if you have those things, Bucky can play against a lot of characters. He's still a bit of a dog against some of the long distance pokers like Jean that are played a lot. But especially after that first layer of bans go through, oftentimes Bucky is left standing as a character that is just very efficient, outputs a lot of damage per second, pound for pound, just does more than a lot of other characters. And I gotta recommend putting him in your bag if you're just looking for a really good all-around DPS to play front-to-back focus slots with. And next in A tier, we actually have Punisher, and this character is actually great. I mean, he puts out a crazy amount of damage. His shotgun is really good for playmaking. He has reasonable mobility, so he can get back to fights, set up those zips, and he gets to cheat death in a way that Spider-Man does a bit too. But the best part about him is that he's a team win condition. So alone, he can struggle, but if a whole team enables him, a whole team pockets him, a whole team bubbles him, a whole team shields him, through his ultimate, you can win fights with him. Rocket plus Punisher roll, you kill through an Invisible. Punisher roll, just in the neutral, getting protected by a Magneto shield or whatever. You get to just kill a Rocket roll and then kill the team. He outputs so much damage per second that he can become a win condition for your entire team to enable. And that combined with a really strong ability to just shotgun and burst, and his turret that allows him to build ult charge very quickly and apply pressure. I think this character can be one of those characters that feels like a threat that you need to respond to or answer, and he can work you to play a certain type of composition that maybe you're uncomfortable with because he does demand an answer if going unchecked. A really good Punisher that is not dying in the neutral can just quickly take over a game because he's winning fight after fight with his really powerful ultimates.
Yeah, but if I hold it here, isn't it blocking my face? Hi!
The next in the A tier, we have Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is consistently a A tier DPS because all around he's just solid. He gives you a lot of agency and skill expression. He plays really well into dive, and most importantly, he gets to cheat death like no other character. Every death on him is maybe worth 0.6 of a death on another character that doesn't have mobility because he gets to the fight so quickly. He can trade, be back, and fight in an advantage fight for a little while because they're still walking back from spawn. Also, Spider-Man just got a really, really big ult buff. But before, he would really struggle against certain types of utility like Cloak Bubble. Now he can reliably kill through them, and it's just enough damage to be all the difference in how fast you're killing people and how much overall damage you're doing. The character is in a really good spot right now, and while he doesn't play Brawl all that well, there's a lot of characters in Brawl that you can disrupt, pull out of a fight, poke and fraud at. And the thing about Brawl is that most Brawl characters can't fight you when you're flying through the air. So unlike the poke meta, where there are more targets for you to go into and jump on, when you're brawling or up against Brawl a lot, you're flying through the air, you're not taking any damage while midair. You get to set the terms of your engagement more, and if you ban smart and you got the mechanical skill to yo-yo and do all your combos, you're going to find windows of time to really carry a fight because you can put pressure exactly where they don't want the pressure to be. And all around, I think this character can be played with the meta or as an anti-meta character and still get a lot of value with it. The next A tier we have Devore. He's just all around, like pound for pound, the most reliable DPS in the game. Can off angle, can flank, can play front to back and deny dives, has a very consistent ultimate, outputs a very consistent amount of damage, can take high ground, he's hard to just kill out of nowhere, he has a bubble. I mean, what's there to say about this character other than he's just good in almost every situation? He's never bad. And if you have a bad DPS, you want his ass on Namor. And I'm not saying that you can't carry his Namor or do like a lot of go above and beyond, but he's just reliable. He's just consistent. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you want. The ability to be consistent, to have an ult that always gets value, to have a game plan that always works, or multiple game plans that always work. And I really think he lines up so well into what people are doing, because he has the ability to duel characters like Green and Star-Lord. He has the ability to keep Daredevil and Black Cats in check. And he has the ability to shut down ults like Punisher with his ult. Like, he has reasonable matchups across the board. And I'm not going to say that he overwhelmingly is favored, but at the very least, I think every matchup is maybe 49% win rate minimum, meaning that he just barely loses to everything, if at all. And that's a good place to be because you can easily overcome that gap with skill and smart play. So I just can't recommend him enough. The next character in the A tier is Wolverine, a character that is still just really good in this meta. While some of the brawlers that are seeing play cannot be moved, they can't be grabbed or anything like that, he's still just good at trading blows. He brawls well because he does health base damage, percentage damage, so he's going to be just trading damage at an unfair rate, and his ultimate is still phenomenal. It's still so freaking good. And I don't necessarily think he can be played in every situation. There are going to be some matchups that can be frustrating. You know, an Emma plus a Bucky, for instance, both of them looking at you nonstop. There are going to be certain windows that are hard for you to capitalize on. But a really good Wolverine knows how to weave in Brawl with his kidnaps and get consistent value on the character. You get more uptime because of your passive buff, so you're just going to be able to be consistent in fights. And I do think that Wolverine is still a character that opponents have to swap around a lot in order to just be at the bare minimum effective. So I do think he's a really good hero to have in your bag because of all these reasons. The next in the A tier, moving up a notch, we have Elsa, a character that a lot of people are completely sleeping on at this point, but she's still so good. Her ultimate is still probably the best ultimate in the DPS catalog because of its ability to just keep enemies CC for a very long time. You can win through defensibles. You can win before opponents even have the chance to respond to you. And Elsa also is a character that gets even more value when you put a lot into her, like Mantis damage boost, consistent speed boost, of course, and then also Ultron drones. There are ways to make this character Thanos, and I also just think that if you're good at this character, you can still dominate even some of the best DPS in the game. You have reasonable tools to deal with dives, ways to move, ways to burst them down, ways to outplay them. And yeah, she's not as strong as she once was, but very similar to what we talked about with Tankpool. Turns out being a lot weaker than your former self. If your former self was broken, you're still good, and that's what she's at. The last up in A tier, we have Psylocke. Psylocke is still so freaking strong. The character is in a really, really good spot. Can poke, can apply pressure, and all kinds of things. Play where she wants to play, back lines, more enemy divers. The list goes on and on. And she can fit into so many types of pumps. You can play her in a poke pump. She can test other pokers. She can play in a dive pump. You can even get her to work in a brawl pump. Like, there's so many different ways to make her okay and reasonable, and she plays well. And it really just comes down to her mobility. She just has infinite flexibility. You can position where you want and contribute to the fight where you want. You can play in the composition you want to, and still find a way to get value. Now, I think that there are some other characters that do what she can do a bit better in this patch, but she's such a great character to have in your bag that is just so reliably good and also rarely ever banned, that I think that if you're looking for a very high-skill character that you can one-trick legitimately or play in most games you're in, I think Psylocke is a great character for you to play because she is going to be right under the surface, and regardless of whether your diver gets banned or your Starlo gets banned or whatever, she's still going to be able to pick up that slack and be almost as good, if not just as good. Up to the S. I'm going to call this the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. That's basically what it is. These are the best of the best in slot, best characters you can play, and they're either going to be picked or banned most of the time, but when they're not, they dictate games all around them. And of course, we have to talk about Daredevil as one of the best divers in the game. If you give this guy any space, any smidge of room, he's still in your entirety. You have catalysts or characters that can create that pressure like Cap, like Venom. Daredevil gets to be truly activated and just gets to go crazy. He has the ability to win duels in 1v1s with basically any character in the game. He gives you extra bits of information because of his wall hacks, and he's just crazy amounts of burst, plus sustain, plus mobility, that it's just hard to deny how impactful this guy can be in the right hands. He's so freaking strong, he's so freaking good. And there's really a lot of skill expression on this character. I know there's a meme about like rolling your head over your keyboard and doing your combos, but how you combo, what kind of text you use, like weaving in and up out of fights, and most importantly, who you're going on and when you're going, because you have access to so much information. So if you're ever having a bad engagement, there's almost always a situation where you could have made a better decision, engaged at a different time, or done something mechanically different for that engagement to go well, or for at the very least for you not to die, and then you get to re-hit. So it gives you so much player agency, and is such an overpowering threat that gets to set the engagement terms whenever he wants to. But he isn't the only diver in the Four Horsemen. The second diver, perhaps even the stronger of the two, is Black Cat. This character is a character that people have been figuring out more and more, and honestly, a lot of players towards the end of last season did figure out how strong she was, but now everyone knows. This character gets to just kill. She gets to set up whatever gadget she wants. She has a bag of tricks that are often very impactful, from her ability to go invisible, to block a hit, to be able to give her team flank advantages because of the eye, and it tells you exactly when enemies are flanking or making any plays. And
I've been waiting for this since the 19th in this box. The robotic lawnmower. Destined to fulfill the promise, more time for Legion. Those instructions. Alright, that is pretty good and cool looking. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and follow these really good instructions. I'm not 100% sure how this thing works yet, but we're gonna figure it out. So the typical setup already complete. That's like no time. Still big instructions to help create the map. It's Saturday morning. Got a cup of little brown dog coffee. I'm about to cut the lawn in my slippers. So right here on my phone, I select my device, which I call Future Space Robot. Tell it where I want it to go. Hit mode. It's actually the first time I've ever used it, so we're going to see how it does. But I've got the blade height set pretty high because my grass is pretty high. But it's all adjustable. It's all adjustable in the app. You can adjust blade height, blade speed, the speed of the mower, all in the app. But look at this. This is sketchy on the riding lawnmower. Like, if you're not careful, you turn the wrong way, especially on the old Murray that I have. It might throw you off. So we're just going to look at this thing, and then we might do another pass a little lower. I just want to give it a little bit of fighting chance on this kind of wet grass because it's still dewy in the morning. I'm going to go.
And he plays, and most importantly, your just raw damage numbers and immortality frames. You're hard to interact with. You can kill enemies without them being able to do anything about it, and you can snowball like no other character. She's literally built in the lab as the perfect diver, and if someone really knows what they're doing with this character, they can solo your entire team even without help, but give them a little bit of help, and it can feel completely oppressive. Such a powerful character, and if you ever allow a Venom plus a Jeff plus a Black Cat plus a Daredevil in your games, you deserve to lose. Like, if you don't ban at least one of those characters, you're gonna lose that game if you go up against multiple divers. You're not. There's nothing you're gonna be able to do about it. It's just so strong, so powerful. They get to set whatever engagement they want. Doesn't matter if you're a brawl, they're just gonna go after your weakest link. So strong, so powerful, and undoubtedly very good. Now, the third horseman of the apocalypse is now Star-Lord. And Star-Lord got a massive buff, giving him 10 more ammo in his split, which allows him to one clip for 325 all body shot damage instead of 260 body shot damage in one split, which is a massive difference, and very important. It allows you to easily kill 580 heroes split, and combining all of these ranks, it's already good. It's already good. And it was already S tier if Gambit was open because the duo combo of Star-Lord plus Gambit pushes him over the edge. And you have a character that, without the Gambit team up, is already S tier. It's one of the best characters in the game, but with the Gambit team up, it's best in slot. If you have a Gambit open, play Star-Lord, play them both, win the game. It's just so freaking strong. You have a good Gambit, good Star-Lord, you all can set up that synergy from anywhere, and fights. And Star-Lord just by himself is just so goddamn good. And he plays in every composition, very similarly to Psylocke, where she can set up in any angle and play any position. Star-Lord can do the same. And there even is an additional type of strategy, which is like an all-in-pocket strategy around Star-Lord with Ultron triple support with Mantis that is honestly still really, really good. Bubbling in the freaking Star-Lord with Magneto bubbles. I actually think one of my favorite compositions is a Venom Bag Star-Lord Jeff Mantis triple support comp. Such a good composition and honestly underplayed because you can bubble into Star-Lord with Jeff Bubble, Mantis damage, Magneto Bubble, and fight him with the Venom Slam, build up ult so quickly, win the fight. It's just so good. And really, this character is so flexible. You can just play in whatever comp you want to throw him in ranked play. And if you have the aim behind him, you know what target you should be prioritizing and how you should be playing your neutral game. This character is going to absolutely carry you this season. Now, at the very, very top, the final horseman, the best DPS in the game, such a strong character all around, is Jean freaking Grey. Because while they did reduce the damage of the explosion, they increased just the straight-up damage of the primary of Jean. A character that I would argue was already the best DPS in the game, and I do understand that this character doesn't win when people don't have consistent aim. But the reality of it is, once you get to Grandmaster Plus, people can aim, people can shoot. And this character gets to just win every matchup because she's effective from long range.
Over to next, too good or begun.
For the router, I don't pay anything for it.
The installation was super easy. I didn't have to go pick up anything on my own.
And all of the equipment was included.
It's just one and done. Anyone that needs any of those things should check out G-Fiber.
And she's not weak from close range either. She has a stun, she has high damage, she has sustain, she has 2 forms of mobility, an ultimate that gets to reset her at full HP, and, like, I mean, I don't even know what to say. This character has been meta, is the strongest, and the only time she's not the strongest is when they randomly introduce a character like Elsa that is somehow even more busted than her. And the reality here is that I can't understand why they would effectively buff a character that is already S tier, but as long as they have, this character's pick a ban. Play this character and you try, well, you ban this character and you get to play something else, right? If this character's open and you're not playing it, you're probably throwing the game, to be honest with you, in any lobby where people have risk to play. I talk about having good or bad matchups, but Jean Grey has no bad matchups. He doesn't have a single one. He's effective against everything. At the very least, it's 50% an even matchup, but the reality is it doesn't have bad matchups in the entire game, and that means she's the first DPS. Now let me give you a couple of honorable mentions. If you're looking for the best solo carry character in the game, I'm going to give you 2 options. I think number 1, Spider-Man is, of course, gonna be great at solo carrying because of that agency we talked about, because of that ability to cheat death we talked about. If you're looking for a character that could just be good in any lobby, and it's often about how impactful you are and how much you can do, Spider-Man is that character, but he's not easy to play, so it's a weird recommendation. The other solo carry character that I'll throw in and give you here is actually going to be Mr. Fent. I think Mr. Fent is such a great solo carry character right now. He really can play in a lot of different comps. Super, super strong. People are not going to be expecting you to do as much as you do right now until they adapt and understand just how powerful he is, so I highly recommend it. If you're looking for recommendations for console, I think especially Wolverine is going to get a ton of value right now. Mr. Fent, Iron Fist is going to be insane right now on console, and then, of course, Moon Knight. I think if you had a combination of, like, Moon Knight, Iron Fist as a hero pool, you're good against, like, most anything. It's just so good, because if they're playing some nonsense that you can't get value with on Iron Fist, you can play Moon Knight. You can even do, like, a Moon Knight, Mr. Fent duo. Like, there's a lot of different things you could set up there, but that's my big recommendation for you. And now, let's move on to the support. Now, similar to the tanks, there aren't any bad supports. Like FBC, there are those supports in FBC, because having a third support of a low-tier support on this list is still better than having like half the DPS in the game. That's how powerful a lot of these supports are. They're all reasonable, they're all good, and I just can't really say anything bad about them. So that's just straight up. But let's talk about the B tier, and at the very bottom of B tier, I actually have support. Now, I don't think that this character is as bad as I once thought, because basically what this character gets to do is this character gets to apply pressure with your team and actually shoot a few damage that way, but also break the rules a bit with the ult. Now, the ultimate isn't some amazing ult. It's not even a Mantis ult in value, but it ends up first, and it is really powerful to deny early plays. It can keep you alive to an early tank ult. It can keep you alive to an early Moon Knight ult or a play by the enemy team. And it can even help you turn the tables of a die very quickly. You know, they die once, they cycle in, and you'll use a whole bunch of cooldowns to deny them. The second time they cycle in after they made a cooldown, you have your ult up, and you use it to sustain through and maybe even get picks. Understanding that you get to do these things because of how fast you get your ultimate is important. And I also do think that having synergies, certain synergies in your comp, like the Jeff synergy, is good. And if you can fit that in with a triple support pool, that's still really, really good. It's worth it because you give that Jeff that really powerful explosive level like Emo. So I think this character can be fine. The biggest problem is if you're playing traditional front to back with 2 supports, you don't have an ult always up that gets to just sustain through things. Because that's not really what this ult is for. It needs to be on tempo to be...
Yo, y'all, come here. Bro, it cannot get worse than this. I'm telling you, today is one of the craziest days. So the Rivals team is so upset because they said they're going to be upping the anti-cheat even more. So I talked to the Rivals team. I said, how many people been banned? They said 1.1K and counting. I said, counting? 1.1? I said, what in the Jiminy Cricket? I said, mama, step down. Code red, take the stress. So I'm checking the list because on the list, they have it to where they show the ranks of where these people are banned. So I'm looking at the list and I'm checking it twice like a Christmas witch. I said, what in the hemisphere is these people over here cheating in bronze? You gotta be smart for coach. Why are you cheating in silver? And why are you cheating in gold? If you're cheating, how are you still there? I don't understand. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? So I'm talking to the rivals team. They said, we're gonna be up in the rivals anti-cheat even more. I said, bro, they powered up like silver. Yo, y'all, come here. Bro, it cannot get worse than this. I'm telling you, today is one of the craziest days. So the rivals team is so upset because they said they're going to be up in the anti-cheat even more. So I talked to the rivals team. I said, how many people been banned? They said 1.1K and counting. I said, counting? 1.1? I said, what in the Jimmy Cricket? I said, no, get down. Code red, paper disgrace. So
Turn the light off.
Because on the list, they have it to where they show the ranks of where these people are banned. So I'm looking at the list and I'm checking it twice like a Christmas witch. I said, what in the hemisphere is these people over here cheating in bronze? Gotta be smart for coach. Why are you cheating in silver? And why are you cheating in gold? If you're cheating, how are you still there? I don't understand. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? So I'm talking to the rivals team. They said, we're gonna be up in the rivals anti-cheat even more. I said, bro, they powered up like a silver. Yo, y'all, come here. Bro, it cannot get worse than this. I'm telling you, today is one of the craziest days. So the rivals team because they said they're gonna be up in the anti-cheat even more. So I talked to the rivals team. I said, how many people been banned? They said 1.1K and counting. I said, counting? 1.1? I said, what in the Jiminy Cricket? I said, Donald, get down. Code red, paper disgrace. So I'm checking the list. Because on the list, they have it to where they show the ranks of where these people are banned. So I'm looking at the list and I'm checking it twice like a Christmas witch. I said, why in the hemisphere is these people over here cheating in bronze? Gotta be smart for coach. Why are you cheating in silver? And why are you cheating in gold? If you're cheating, how are you still there? I don't understand. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? So talking to the rivals team, they said, we're gonna be up in the rivals anti-cheat even more. I said, bro, they powered up like I'm so. Yo, y'all, come here. Bro, it cannot get worse than this. I'm telling you, today is one of the craziest days. So the rivals team is so upset because they said they're going to be up in the anti-cheat even more. So I talked to the rivals team. I said, how many people been banned? They said 1.1K and counting. I said, counting? 1.1? I said, what in the Jiminy Cricket? I said, Donald, get down. Code red, paper disgrace. So I'm checking the list. Because on the list, they have it to where they show the ranks of where these people are banned. So I'm looking at the list and I'm checking it twice like a Christmas witch. I said, what in the hemisphere is these people over here cheating in bronze? Gotta be smart for coach. Why are you cheating in silver? And why are you cheating in gold? If you're cheating, how are you still there? I don't understand. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? So I'm talking to the rivals team. They said, we're gonna be up in the rivals anti-cheat even more. I said, bro, they powered up like I'm so. Yo, y'all, come here. Bro, it cannot get worse than this. I'm telling you, today is one of the craziest days. So the rivals team is so upset because they said they're going to be up in the anti-cheat even more. So I talked to the rivals team. I said, how many people been banned? They said 1.1K and counting. I said, counting? 1.1? I said, what in the Jiminy Cricket? I said, Donald, get down. Code red, paper disgrace. So I'm checking the list. Because on the list, they have it to where they show the ranks of where these people are banned. So I'm looking at the list and I'm checking it twice like a Christmas witch. I said, what in the hemisphere is these people over here cheating in bronze? Gotta be smart for coach. Why are you cheating in silver? And why are you cheating in gold? If you're cheating, how are you still there? I don't understand. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what?
God damn.
It cannot be held for a specific situation because when lining them up directly against other ults, you just lose out in power level every single time. The next up in B tier, we actually have Adam. I think Adam is in a reasonable spot right now. He's really, really good at applying pressure. Soul Bond is so really strong, and Reds can still get value. But here's the core problem with Adam. He's only playing for triple. Once again, like there's a lot of supports that I think can get away into support comps, even traditional triple support. But like Adam's probably the one that you don't really ever want to play into support comps because really it just requires too much healing overall from you, and you don't really have enough cooldowns. You don't want to just be burning your cooldowns to keep someone alive, and it's not like an old front round that can stick around. And it's really just constant cooldowns you have to burn just to keep your team up, and that's much better when you get to decide specifically, like when he's not terrible though, and I think he's very good in triple, but even in triple, he's not even like a top 2 triple support enabler. He can be played in triple, but there's so many great triple supports that you can play. Gambit, Loki, even Jeff, there's like Mantis, Ultron, that he does have a lot of competition for the one top that he's like. Now, next up is Cloak and Dagger, a character that has been overrated for a while. The characters can be good, and I think especially in the brawl meta, being able to heal up a lot, ult quickly, blind enemy teams on the front line, and create advantage in the brawl. That can all be good. My big problem with Cloak and Dagger is that you just don't have as much playmaking as some of the higher characters on this list. If you're getting Go, you don't have a lot of ways to get away from a multiple person guy, multiple team guy. You can deal with one guy. That's what every Spider-Man player complains about, trying to deal with Cloak and Dagger, Bubble, and Fade as a single Spider-Man. But if you have Spider-Man, a Venom, a freaking Daredevil, a Black Cat, whatever, like there's too much, you're just gonna die. It's very hard to keep you alive. And unlike other supports that can do similar things to Cloak and Dagger, that either have ultimates or more ability to outplay some of those things, Cloak just unfortunately doesn't, and because of that, I'm sure it's B. Now, the last character is Ultron, a character that is also mostly going to be played in triple. There are the occasional duo support comps that you can run them in and make it work if they don't trade a lot of damage, but the reality is you want to play him as a triple. And in a lot of cases, if a DPS is underperforming, they would be carried if they just swap to Ultron triple. There's a lot of characters that can't really play the game against you in your Ultron. Your ultimate is really, really good. The passive and value you generate is really, really strong. And whether you're playing a brawl composition, you're trying to enable a lot, tons of healing, whether you're playing a poke composition where you're trying to create unfair advantages and angles for your early DPS, help secure those angles with your damage, or whether you're playing up against the dive composition and denying it. I even played with the dive, you can like enable Daredevils and stuff with your damage and speed boost, but like overall, I think the character is reasonably good all around, and if you get to play him in that triple, he can be dominant. Now moving up to the A tier, these are characters that are just good in their slots. They're very good, they have a lot of playmaking, or a lot of raw value, and the first character I wanted to tie, that's actually Luna, a character that is just outputting a crazy amount of damage right now. You get to poke and do damage, so much freaking damage, and there's a lot of DPS that just straight up lose to a Luna with good aim. Not to mention, you combine her with White Fox, and you have the Daze plus the freeze. Daze plus freeze plus clap plus totem means you can win most games, like with a lot of characters. Now, it's still kind of weak against a lot of like all-in dive, so I don't really think you want to play Luna against like a 3-man all-in dive composition or whatever, but against even 2 dive, you have a lot of playmaking. And I think an underrated aspect about Luna is that you're just contributing so much damage to a fight, that sometimes it can be really easy for your team to focus and kill people. Because, one person shooting something and, it's taking a little damage to get them back to go. 2, 3, 4, Luna being one of them, and all of a sudden things are dying that just wouldn't have died before, and that amount of just raw damage is just really underrated in this support that has so much other powerful bits about her, and a really good old combo, damage boost. I mean, the character is all around really good, and now her power level, the raw numbers of her, mean that she gets consistent value in places that it was hard for her to do that before. Now, next up in H is actually Rocket, a character that he did actually get some really, really big buffs. He's going to be able to build up his ultimate quite a bit faster. And while his ultimate sometimes does appear weak because if they ult or defensive ult and they can just sustain and kill it, you have a lot of combos you can set up. You go to your ultimate really fast when people are brawling. You heal pound for pound more than almost every other character. And that means that you can enable a brawl comp really well. You can enable it really well. You can increase the ability for your team to keep building in. You actually surprise do a lot of damage to brawlers if they get too close to you. And I think if you have a team that their whole strategy is block on the enemy team, a damage boost, you don't need a rocket ult for very long to win a fight. Just, pop it, you have the initiative, you'll just walk over them and go. He's also good at dive. You play him with a jet diver and just pop him across the map. Trades are really good, they're really common in dive, and you just get res with res beacon. So yeah, I think Rocket's in a really good state right now. Never, ever play this character in support because you just are losing out a consistent source of damage. But in compositions that are highly mobile or trading a lot of damage, Rocket can be great for you right now. Next up at 18, we have Jeff, which is another really great character in both brawl and a great character in dive, because Jeff can do damage and heal at the same time. Your brawl is in there trading a lot of damage, Jeff's healing your entire team, building up results really quickly, and doing a whole bunch of damage. That's really, really good. When you're Daredevil with Venom running it, he's healing your whole team, enabling them, and building up results really quickly. He just gets to do both. And don't forget, it's really powerful to team up with Venom, and it's really powerful to team up with Thankful.
No, that doesn't count.
Let's get go!
Damn it. You know what to do, spiders? This is gonna hurt. Let's have some fun.
The moon haunts you!
Powering up. Mine's in place. It's spider time! It's spider time! Us against the world! Here comes trouble!
Fantastic! Ha-ha!
You know what to do, spiders? Time for some fireworks. Taking it all! Mine's in place. I owe you something. I'm hit. Cover me. Time for some fireworks. We may power it up. I was in trouble. Mine's in place.
Only 60 seconds left.
I've got yours.
I sense them. I'll get that vehicle to its destination.
Time for some fireworks.
I suck. That one hurts. Nice.
I don't have to. You know what to do, spiders? Time for some fireworks. We're better when we work together.
Final score: 2-1. Another epic victory! Big win!
We're better when we work together. Time for some fireworks.
Get out the kitchen. Get on the charger. Bring it up. You put it. You put it.
Which hero do you think you want to be today?
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this
So his name is Domination, and during his campaign interview, he revealed when Tony Yayo got smacked, how 50 Cent got shot and why he got shot. He tells it all.
Now, at some point, you meet Tony Yayo. You know Tony Yayo since you were a kid.
From here, 2010, yeah. He was signed to a, not signed, because they wasn't signed. They was in an underground group called Rags to Riches. It was him, Fat Shaw, a.k.a. DJ Ruffin, God bless the dead, and my man Katik, God bless the dead. They called him P.
You remember how you guys met? You guys go to school together?
No, we didn't go to school together. They were like 10 years old. We didn't go to school together. We met on the block. Wasn't before I got cool.
Okay, so these were like your big homies that you looked up to.
Never my big homies. I never looked up to them, ever in my life.
The level of disgust that he has as the thought that Tony Yayo was his big homie. Now, I don't understand it because I always thought Tony Yayo was a pretty respectable dude in the hood. I thought Tony Yayo, for the most part, is something like somebody with really no real smut on his name. And Tony Yayo never really got knocked out in public, never really did something grimy. We never really heard nothing bad about Tony Yayo over these years. But for some reason, you don't want for Tony Yayo to be the big homie, which, okay, I guess. Now, if you guys are not aware of like the long-standing beef between this guy and 50 Cent, do your research. It gets really, really, really violent. Now, before they got off Tony Yayo completely, he told a story about how Tony Yayo got slapped during a dice game.
What would you think? What would you say your like wildest situation growing up there?
The wildest situation?
Round one.
Man, I don't think that's for the camera. Come on. So, there was a time that we was on the block, and the dude walked through with his girl. And he walked through a whole bunch of dudes because our block is, any given day, is flooded. It's not like that now, but it was 20, 30 guys on the block. And when the guy walked by, dudes threw a duck sauce at his head. And it was, in retrospect, it was corny, but everybody was laughing about it. I really wasn't jacking it, but that's one of the scenarios. But
okay, what happened after you guys threw the duck sauce at him?
I mean, what you gonna do? You got 20, 30 people. What is the dude really gonna do? It was really like some bullshit, so I really didn't respect it, right? But that's one of the wild situations, you know. But there's other situations that it been dice games. Like Tony Yayo was at a dice game. He was rolling dice with somebody and left. He got smacked. His guns came out. It was a wild, wild west situation, you know.
I'm questioning
Yo,
if
shoot a nipple if I don't have no more.
If they ask you, what's the craziest thing you've been through? And you bring up how y'all threw, I don't know, like a Lassie-Taffy at somebody's head. Like, how, like, bro, kids in the suburbs have done that. Like, that's not really no crazy story. But then you follow with the Tony Yayo story, and I'm like, hold on, if the Tony Yayo story was real, wouldn't the Tony Yayo story be the first thing you bring up? Wouldn't that have been the first thing you brought up to say, yo, Tony Yayo got slapped, guns got pulled out? It was, like, wouldn't that be the first story you lead to? Like, so I don't know, bro. I'm questioning that. Now, him and 50 Cent, and Yayo, they were all really, 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 really cool. I think him and 50 ultimately fell out when 50 Cent refused to pay his bond, and then he got out, and then him and 50 got this like memorable moment where they're arguing over the radio phone. I think it was High 97. But yeah, so he was really close to 50 Cent at the time, so he's really tapped into all the lore and all the stories that we kind of heard, but don't know the full details of. One of those stories being 50 Cent's beef with Supreme, and one led to 50 Cent being shot.
As far as being in the studio with 50, Rough Hands used to have a studio in his basement. It was like a makeshift studio. It didn't really produce the best quality, but it was there. Like 50 would record his thing, right? Nothing to do with us. He's just from our block. And we used to go record our stuff. He was 134 All-Stars, right? There was a particular moment that I recall that there was an artist named Storm P, right? And this was after 50 got shot. There was an artist named Storm P. I was in the studio. My man Drake Titus was in the studio. Oh, that damn screaming. Doc Intelligence was in the studio. A dude named Gangsta Lou from Linden was in the studio. We was all there chilling, right? We was doing the mastermind.
Smurf was there.
Smurf was there. Yeah, Yayo was there and Banks was there, as a matter of fact. Also, yeah, they was on that, but Banks wasn't Banks at the time. He was Lazy Lord. He wasn't dealing with 50 at that time, right? So we go to the studio and whatnot. We waiting to record. There's a dude named Storm P from Baisley Project. He actually ended up being managed by Superstar J. I don't know if that's still true to this day, but he was nice. He was doing this beat. I don't recall the beat, but his bars was hard. I recall the bars. He said, I dodge potholes, man, so I don't my rent. You dodge puddles, so you don't get 10. And I was like, whew. He was young at the time. Like, I age 18, 17, around that time. I'm like, oh, this shit is nice. He was putting that, he was spitting that thing. So 50 came in the studio while we was in the studio, and he heard that. And he said, yo, who beat is that? Like, yo, I'm jumping on it. He didn't even ask the boy that actually did the beat. He just said, yo, I'm jumping on it. So the engineers let him jump on the track. He said, rumor last year, 50 got bad. Rumor this year, 50 got stabbed. What's the rumor next year, huh? 50 got mad and tore Jai head off with the 4-4 mag. He said something about my baby mom's a wild out and stabbed me worse than that. You know? So that was an issue, of course.
That moment is why 50 Cent got shot. So 50 Cent is in the studio. Now he's in a mindset right now where he just dissing any and everybody. He's trying to get on. He just dropped How to Rob. He's doing his thing. But you come in and you're not really aware of who's in the room with you. You just a rapper. You see a hot song. He's around people you know and people you like and people you got a relationship with. So you just assume he straight, he good. He wasn't good. So the dude whose song he hopped on, well, he's from the same neighborhood as Ja Rule or people who was affiliated with Ja Rule. So when 50 Cent did that, that got back to Ja Rule, that got back to Supreme, and apparently that right there was the icing on the cake, and that was what broke the straw back, and that really made him wanted to go after 50 Cent. So what took place was, I'm assuming 50 Cent did that. Dude went back and told Ja Rule or Supreme or people associated with Ja Rule, hey, bro, I was in the studio, 50 just hopped on this track. He said this. I ain't know nothing, bro. Don't blame me. Right? Because if he didn't tell them, right, then imagine that song dropping and they find out, bro, this is Lil Homie who be around here, and he let 50 Cent this Ja or not. So he told. Now, after he told, he didn't go too deep into details in regards to what the conversation was, but that was apparently the straw that broke the camel back, and they was determined to kill 50 Cent the next day.
Like I said, you know, Stone P was from Baisley, so 9 times out of 10, his management team was from Baisley. Supreme is from Baisley, right? I'm not privy to what happened after that, to what happened if Supreme called 50 or not, or what was being said. I'm not privy to that. I do know that after that studio session, the next day, I went to the block, around 12 o'clock, something like that, and they're like, yo, 50, I shot her. So we all go to the back block. It's taped off. So we actually honestly thought he was dead. We didn't know he made it. We thought he was dead, you know?
Right? When I reversed, I said, I seen the car coming. I try to be considerate. But what? He saw it. So he ain't seen that. But when I said, when I turned on my pause, I seen somebody jumping out the car. He seen the car, but he didn't see the person jump out the car. That's what I mean. I asked him, who is? He's like, I'm waiting for a response. And the response I get was, oh. So I'm like, oh. When I turned, niggas started shooting. So I forgot the car was in reverse. I'm thinking the car is in drive. So when I stepped on the gas, I hit their car. Thinking that I was gonna go forward, I went backwards. So when I went backwards, I hit my head. That froze me. But 50 said he didn't get shot to this point here, when it froze me. That's when the gunman came around the car and he shot us. But in that process, the girl was screaming, she like, drive. So that's what woke me up. And I drove down the block. And I drove him to the hospital.
Okay, and so did you reverse the car at all after you kind of started to take off?
I just told you I had the car in reverse. I said that.
Okay, let me explain that. Sorry, bro. Let me explain a little bit better. So you guys start to take off. At any point, did you guys like?
Oh yeah. I see what you did. Yeah. I did reverse back when 50 told me you had a gun. I did reverse back. I didn't think you wanted me to say. I see what you did. You went and you seen what I said before. All right, yeah. I had a gun. Yeah, we had guns in the car. I backed up. I said, yo, I was gonna go back to shoot. But he was already hurt, and Shorty was like, yo, take him to the hospital. So I took him to the hospital. I couldn't take hearing what she was saying. She was all hysterical. I had to get her out the car. So when I got her out the car, it was just me and 50. I wasn't from Queens, so I told him to stay up. Yo, you gotta direct me to the hospital. So he directed me to the hospital.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father.
Were you shot at this time?
I hope I make him proud.
I didn't know I was shot until I got to the hospital.
Where were you shot at?
I got shot in my left hand. It went in and out.
You didn't even know you were shot all that time driving and everything?
Nah, I didn't know I was shot. The way it went through my flesh, like it wasn't really like the right here.
So he got shot how many days after? Just a day after?
The day after, yes. The day after.
Hip hop got to start doing a better job at feeding our OGs, man. Because our OGs not being fed is why they're on podcasts and telling like a mug. Yo, there's no statute of limitation on attempted murder in New York. They shot 50 Cent 9 times. That's attempted murder. Nobody has been arrested for it yet. All right, so you coming on a podcast and even relaying this information and confirming certain things, isn't that all bad? I know at some point in his interview he did say, man, certain things I can't speak on. But what made you think you can speak on this situation? I don't know, bro. I just, we got, again, man, we got to do a better job at feeding our OGs, man. Because they out here starving, man. They telling every story they can tell, man, to try to get booked for another interview, bro. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? No disrespect to the brother, man. I just don't understand why you're on podcast telling these stories. But it's all love and respect, man, from my end. Let me know what y'all think, all right? Is this all bad? Is this telling? All right, and if you're still watching this video,
The web of life and destiny is fragile. Someone must protect it.
That's enough.
Yeah, I'm connected to the spider that helps me pilot this armor. I've gotten used to them. They don't bother me anymore. Except
the battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm counting on you,
You have to
friend.
stop them from securing the mission area.
Had to switch the swag look, started getting ready on. Had a mob of coalition, but them niggas scattered home. Know these niggas mad as fuck, now some niggas back at home. So I'm going harder than that bunk they had me satin on. Keep it gangster from my bone, swear don't need no backup. Straight down, I'm to slow you down like some traffic on. Working for the ops, ain't no sperm like a standing tone. Catching me, killing like a tagging with you standing on. Thorough with the pistol, but without it, niggas panic though. If it ain't you, then change it, it should be your life ain't for you, now switch it just like a channel, bro. Still with the pieces, with beat and pull up and vanish though. Thugging since a younger, remember me when I ran at home? Still in gang systems and fights, so I advanced the go. We was deep like roaches, but now dancing now. I'ma keep this mob shit lit like a Roman candle, bro.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
I'm counting on you, friend.
I sense it.
We made quite a team.
Never been a poodle, nigga. Still remain a blue dog. Sliding on the fools with a fully in the two-low. Gotta use your head, if not the top, still shoot up. That dog ain't your dog, so watch out for the true dog. Gone niggas speak up on your name, some screws. Till you run up on them, then they tuck their tail under their culo. Bitch, you'll get smacked, turn your trap into a shoot zone. Goofy ass niggas that get wild with your blue dog. Instead of playing the hand of death, moving like he's trying to bid. Bill talks to his bitch, told her over time we slid. I do dirt off all my lonely cause niggas might snitch. And that hang you in the kennel on some fight shit. I'm trying to add a game in the fight script. I'm not the one to do the barking all fight bitch. And even if they have me in the tight grip, I still go to jail for my dogs like Mike did it.
That's 3. Back in action. Better stop that vehicle. They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
You know what to do, spiders? Time for some fireworks. Powering up.
I need some help. Damage sustained. Need assistance.
Mine's in place.
Call me on this.
I'm counting on you, friend.
I was on the brink. Stay away from
Mine's in place.
Team strike. I like it cold.
This is gonna hurt.
Chaos!
This is garbage, tear down this one.
Better stop that vehicle!
Some king you turned out to be,
Don't give them another inch! Or a time
Let me vent. I need a minute to repent. I wish I kept a better record of all that money that I spent. All that money that I stacked, stacking this money through these raps and all that cracking niggas soul, just trying to make that money back. It's all that money stacked. Lost track a long time ago. Doing my mama page, but maybe my baby mama know. Maybe Chuck know. Maybe little brother know. Maybe they forgot. I'll let a motherfucker know. Fuck it though. I'm just trying to let my brain breathe. The game code, every time I spit, I get a brain freeze. Can't lead though. They say I'm with the game. Now said I don't play with niggas. Nope, we ain't even in the same league. The same breed. I'm cut from a different cloth. I put a couple niggas on. Had to cut some niggas off. And cut my losses. I'm fucking with some bosses. Niggas that want it all. Like fuck what it costs. Now pay attention, nigga. Look at what it costs. Look at where we came from. Look at where it brought us. Look at how we put the mob. These sucking niggas cost. Look at the roof. My niggas, look at what they taught us. Never trust a nigga. Everybody ain't your brother. You gotta read them like a book. Never judge them by their covers. Keep your mouth shut. Don't never speak on what was spoken. Keep your ears to the street. Keep your third eye open. Never see shit. Watch everything around you. Keep a very tight circle. Watch the niggas that's around you. Know your enemy. Nigga, but know thyself, them the only niggas I know. I don't know nobody else. I don't need nobody help. I came to jail on my own. Put the mob on my back and took this 12 on my own. In the county with my cell phone on. Hopping it phony like, tell me what you need, blood. When you coming home, it won't be long. Just be ready when I touch you like that other shit. Let's get this ready. Say I already got it set up. Tell them niggas fall back. I'ma put everything in motion as soon as we all back. I got them all back. Shut keep beyond, bro. All I do is shine while these suckers. I'm a motherfucking king. Triple double threat, I do my motherfucking thing. Double cup of leans, five tucks in my jeans, pound click clack gang. Ain't no fucking with the team. Boss niggas mean, like I ain't got it by the neck, like I ain't eating off this shit, nigga. Like I ain't got a check, like I ain't got a check. Like it's still somebody else, like I won't murder these niggas, then go and kill somebody else. Like that ain't the realest shit that I done said in so long. I ain't felt so strong about a song in so long. These niggas trying to kill my spot. They think it's gone, they think they got me out my box, but they just put me in my zone. I'm up. I wrote a letter to the rap game. Young flop broke nigga. Came out the crack game. Hits with the workout stretching and like back sprain. They threw me in the tang gang. It's still click clack gang. Niggas acting strange. Say I'm acting funny. It's the only time I call them is to ask for some money. Tell them niggas funny. It's the only time y'all answer. Guess what's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. The real niggas let these rap niggas set the standard. Niggas dying for them dollars that y'all dropping on them dance. For them comments that y'all fucking up on Magic City money. Whack a nigga mama for that Magic City money, for that Diddy money. I do it for a Quantech, trying to get rich, homie. It's all about your mindset. Take it out of context. Gotta have a set mind. Like if I don't get him this time, gotta get him next time. Gotta count him 10, and nigga hit me on my text line like blood. I need the first few niggas. She put the best time. I told him prime time, 9-8 central. We gon' try to keep it simple. Shoot me the instrumental. It's all about patience. Communication is essential. Ain't no way that we can't make it. We got way too much potential on the stencil. Niggas better get out this shit. Got some killers down in Cali that are vouch for this shit. The best bet, you can put the house in this shit. Playing house with your bitch, you got a mouth on my dick, nigga. Couch full of bricks, nigga. Closet full of bells, car full of sticks, look like 30 bells, nigga. Kansas City Wells, to Colossal for sale. Middle finger to the 12, I ain't coming back to jail, nigga. Middle finger to the 12, I ain't coming back to jail, nigga. Middle finger to the 12, I ain't coming back to jail, nigga. Middle finger to the 12, I ain't coming back to jail. Here they are.
Poor Namor. Guess he's swimming. Still won't you?
Shit. Shit. Yeah. Switch the swag every now and just customer game. Cause being underground is like stuck in a cave. You would never make it out if you're stuck in your ways. I'm trying to ball on these niggas, so I shuffle the play. I feel like I'm the realest in it. I bet I can spit a verse and you will never find a line in it. Thinking you the dopest and you local, then you high as shit. Niggas all over, bump the smack like psoriasis. Niggas acting thorough when they pass the dope, but when it's funk, they get the running like Shaq and Scoop. Today we riding around with more flicks than the movie. I'm really with it. You some broad, get your swag from a movie. You ain't trying to slither on me, that'll be stupid. Run up on you with the Mac like Bernie and ask you who you with. I could plant a seed on the beat, but all my hooligans, they ain't heard a word that you speak. Cause you ain't single, they ask me who really talk what they live though. And niggas like you who only speak what they hear, bro. And niggas might be with a thing in the field though, but if he gets down, do you think he'll squeal, bro? Just niggas like me who really talk what they live though. And niggas like you who only speak what they hear, yo. Your niggas might be with a thing in the field though, but if he gets down, do you think he's chill, bro? They call me Smack T, but the real name Mac Jones. So check my background, this shit far from a rap song. Nigga tell you different, then he probably just mad, huh? He probably beat his ass, so he probably got clapped on. Line the nigga up with a prepaid track phone. Tell him it's a drop, and you need the pack though. When it's beats the way the freak is the hit from the back though. Run up on his ass while you let off the Mac, bro. It's a blow, came with all kind of problems. KCP said, fuck him, let's go ahead and lock him. This nigga group has got me tripping like I want homicide him. Shout out to Cap, standing on it, not apologizing. This ain't no love in hip hop, nigga. I'm a real shooter. When you in the limelight, you gotta know how to maneuver. I'm still sliding through the streets like I'm driving an Uber. And put a knot up on your head. All sides for these niggas like me who really talk what they live though. And niggas like you who only speak what they hear, bro. And niggas might be with a thing in the field though, but if he get down, do you think he'll squeal, bro? This niggas like me who really talk what they live though, and niggas like you who only speak what they hear, yo. Your niggas might be with a thing in the field though, but if he get down, do you think he'll squeal, bro?
Don't count us out yet.
How nice.
You're up, little one. Thanks for the shoot. This is gonna hurt.
Only 60 seconds left. A nice deep breath.
Systems restoring. We're better when we work together. Mine's in place.
Can you help me study this? Happy to. Let's start. What are mutations? I don't know. Can you explain it to me in a simple way? Imagine mutations as typos in your body's DNA. What causes mutations? Mutations happen for a few reasons.
Niggas hate. A lot of niggas hating. A lot of niggas phony. A lot of niggas bitch. It's not your bro. All these niggas foul. All these niggas fake. Get up on my way. Get up on my face. All I'm gonna do is just go get my cake. It's like Burger King, cause I'm gonna hit my way on my plate. My name good and I show my face. How I know I headed to the top, it's a lonely race. I remember sitting in that cell, it was a lonely case. Family members wouldn't that supposed to be a lonely day. Yo, bitch, stop answering, collect calls. I'm just reminiscing on the days that I was slept on the floor. And the one that you sleep on, I'm up late tonight. early morning to the wee morning, trying to get my steam on, trying to get my bread up. I'm ducking from the cops, kinda hard to keep my head up. I had it up the hill with all this bullshit. Fed up, my brother gone, they telling me be strong, but I don't care much. I see how I gotta get home. Bad bug, doing like I'm done, I'm really going, fuck his head up. Organized crime, lead with the North Texas, we get cracked and I remember having guns in the it's the satisfaction. My little niggas was something to get me, so I kept it with me. Was a different type of love, just like that might be with me. My niggas still on dialysis, waiting for a kidney. My love's trying to get skinny, hope she ain't on the tree. It's so easy to fall victim to this lifestyle. Split your money in the water and hold your life down. Killers in the cage, doing life things. And they wish they was home, nigga, right now. It's so easy to fall victim to this lifestyle. Split your money in the water and hold your life down. It's like killers in the cage, doing life things. And they wish they was home, nigga, right now. Watch the wind come to you. Cause they gon' do the shit they ain't supposed to. Ones who love them, the ones that do the most. Yeah, definition of a crown, they a joke to you. So easy to fall victim to this lifestyle. So my advice to my warriors to hold their life down. It's like a name a couple killers doing life now. It's hard to get a phone on them 180. You got it right now. Executing, prison, survival, let us finish. Yeah, listening in the same water you use for the dish. Pushing up the floor like it's used to uplift. You don't feel a nigga pain if you ain't been abused by the system. No capital. Need to fall victim to this lifestyle. So get your money in the water and hold your life down. Cause I got killers in the cage doing life now. And they wishing they was home, nigga, right now. It's so easy to fall victim to this lifestyle.
Well, business owners, this is the part that no one explains.
Watch your phone.
Steps to stay legally compliant. That's why we use legal things. When we first opened Burden Approved, there wasn't a legal playbook for
DJ Nice on the beat.
Little nigga, let me give you some game. Little nigga, let me give you some game. Little nigga, let me give you some game. Little nigga, let me give you some game.
What you doing not a part of the rules? You a smart nigga, you ain't using all of your tools. And you got heart, nigga, you be out plotting the moves. And you a shark too, really out gobbling dudes. Once you trying to get on next, kept my wetter on my waist and my foot on next. Riding down heavy with the gun in the holster. Believe I wasn't riding around recording and posting. I make a call, had the boys approach. Pull up trying to cook something, boil and toast you. And we didn't do social, it was not for the media. Catch him out dining, they gon' cook him and need him up. Then on your grind, you gotta put your kitty up. You ready for your shine, you gotta fuck your city up. If never do lie, tell them let us see. If you's a good bet, you gotta bet it again. If you got a real friend, you gotta let them know. They ain't trying to see you win, you gotta let them go. If it's money in the field, you better get to it. You gotta pay your bills, then bitch do it. Better recognize who your nigga is. Every hand had to do that bid, what your nigga did. Did he look out for your kids like he better did? Pull up on your mama with them comments. Negative loyalty, my nigga, you don't learn it in prison. You want the shit back, you gotta earn it and live. Not a trick, you don't earn it from kissing. You gotta feel it with some thick, good game wisdom. And it's sure something different, put it all in the face. Focus, send her to the money, leave the ball in the bricks. True, let her count the money, fuck her all in the kitchen. And she got white girlfriends, yeah, all of them bitches. My bitch is impressive, got wits and class. All she want is a Tesla, new tits and ass. She really bought her back in and gets it fast. 5K a day, that's a different bag. Let her get mad, she gon' kick some mad. Every day she doing abs in jiu-jitsu class. I tried to dodge a swing, but the bitch too fast. I had to snatch her up once, but you gon' kick who ass? It's only been a year, I'm getting better on purpose. I'm only getting younger, I'm not a regular person. Working out for the summer, trying to build my body. Still stressing on my nigga, I don't feel who shot him. Yeah, Fairfield, huh? Okay, we got him. And I ain't gotta hit the field, I just hit Bugatti. Blacks and Hispanics and blacks and bourbons. Assalamu alaikum, automatics and turbulence. Please understand I'm from a different equation.
equation. There's no Dr. Yen, just me and my agent. Okay, nigga, hit the door through the toe. In the streets trying to eat with a fork in the bowl. Free game, you gotta choke with your hoe. Real nigga anthem, this was wrote from the soul. And I'll pass it, I just press and swing. Apply pressure and address my needs.
I'm pretty sure I'm still the coolest fighter hero in any reality.
We'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Make your browser fast. Make your browser safe. Make your browser Chrome. Choose Google Chrome for your computer.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What are you doing right here, man?
You know what to do, spiders?
She just in the way if she don't drop or pick a package, yo. She a gold digger, ain't gon' even lift a spatula. My bitch a gold getter, I just got it off the back of her. Play with no nigga, I just ran a man to Africa. Say that she gon' shoot me if I ever give a dick away. Told her you can't kill what is real, bullets ricochet. I just cut a deal for some meals, I'm a answer. Shitting on these niggas, no for real, I'm a monster. While I'm lonely, I'll be gone. I just want a bitch to hold me down and leave me home. Daily at the mall, she gon' buy another thong. Don't lie to me, inspire me to write another song. Blush from my hut, shit, she rockin' with it. If them bullets bust, she gon' dodge it with it. But, like Bob and Whitney, say if I just try to rob her base, she gon' rock it. There used to be a P on her heel, stretch her whole out. Somewhere in the hills in the field in my grow house. Good, the field send me say I'm shipping dro out. Posting up 100 on the ground just to show out. I saw it on the internet, they called me immature, cause I shot a sucker in his ass and checked the ticket store. Had to stick my foot through just to get it through the door. Ran up in the bank and had to split it in the floor. Hit him with his shank after clicking on the door. Left his ass stankin', even shitting on the floor. What you niggas thinking? I done seen it all before. Asking me for commissary, nigga, give me all of yours. Loyal to the soil, I ain't never been a question. Digs do it moving, I'm in every nigga section. Had to get control of my anger and aggression. Shot out the trouble, boy, this banger is a blessing. 25 hours in a day, I need 11 more. I be really rocking for this baby, but you already know. Been shaking hands, kissing babies, and a hug. Tulsa, Oklahoma, I'm the newest can of plug. A felon, they say that I'm rebelling, Nat Turner. I'm smoking on everything I'm selling, black burner. Hold it, quick to tell a bitch, don't get turned. Still get in my business, I'll leave her that alone. I'm a cancer. I don't do the dancing in the crew, I'm the shooter. And they gon' probably tell you he a fool. It's Diggs, and Diggs do it moving on the bitch. The driver, I don't ride with dude, he a snitch. He a snitch, he a snitch, he a snitch.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
Gear up, little ones. It's spider time! All systems. We're back in action.
Playing on iPhone? Now you can play Unlocked with Google Play Games on PC. Unlock rewards with Google Play Points. So the more you play, the more you earn. Go play on PC with Google Play Games. Download now. How much money does Go save us? Oh god, you just took the budgeting out to base 44. Look, it pulls all our expenses into one place and breaks down spending by team. Guys, Venus is built enough.
Impossible. I can't code. Interesting. Can it generate reports?
Can now.
Nice. That's actually pretty good. You're going for generic.
How about...
Oh, that's much better. What about all of our files?
It's already connected to our drive. And our mail. And Slack.
You guys seen this? To win this one.
I'm here to finish the fight that my father began. I hope I make him proud.
Okay. Hey. Glizzy on me, Jack in the box, I'm popping up. Bad female dog in the bed, she tryna fuck up. Still gripping on this ooze, I feel paranoid. Just lit the car, the piss strong, the steroids. All I talk is chicken and onions. You know the lingo. Lift her head, trash, she cancel. I think I'm Nino. Think I'm Corleone. Think I'm Tito. Think I'm Angel bitch. Now she a mother. I think I'm Gino. Speaking of Gino, I'm in a Yukon with Cino. So QB's like a QB, I'm Dan Marino. Niggas act and shoot them like movies. I'm Tarantino. Niggas play the game. Now I'm Vito. My advice is don't be stupid. I got that thing on me. Keep a semi now. I ain't talking about Prince of Kings. It's a pocket rocket, my nigga. Hakeem the Dream. About shining like Vaseline. Trap in the corner store. The strip that full clip. The choppers a matador. When niggas on bullshit. A Kansas City star. I'm talking the titty bar. These legs gotta get ready. We already on. I'm on yet. Straight. No soft funk. Like some badass kids. We used to throw the rocks. Running the 3 bears. Y'all niggas is ghost locks. We don't shoot in the air. This bitch on 30 shots.
I'm running American muscles, smoking exotic. 3 pre-roll blunts, I'm got a big box. I'm up before the family. I'm from the top of and this is my jam. And when I wave it, I'ma get some results. 20 bonds getting made, and I'm lawyers pulling out with them. Bad cases for you cheap niggas. And it's your murder cases like speeds. That fair to town could get you walked down. Gangsta is the town, we got the building. I put bills in position, you niggas bullshit. I put cooks in the kitchen, them niggas still with me. Chop out a corner store where I used to make a kill out. No passengers, no cap, no silver. A real monster, good heart, but no feelings. Get the tripper, you be laid up in the box children. Walking in and getting down from the young niggas. Hit the counter, got a bottle of that Maxine. Headed out, running rubber, bumping Mac Drizzle. I'm a motherfucking ghetto star. Shit, the trap in the corner store. The strip that full clip. The choppers a matador. The niggas on bullshit. A Kansas City star. Stuck in the city bar. These lames gotta get ready. We already on. Yeah, straight, no soft fuck. Like some badass kids. We used to throw the rocks. 3 bears. Y'all niggas is ghost locks. We don't shoot in the air. This bitch on 50 shots.
Nando, that doesn't count. We're outnumbered. This is gonna hurt.
Double KO. That's 3.
We're back in action.
I am king of my people, god of our gods.
I have solved our biggest problem, Richard. It was you.
Mobbing, smoking on exotic, that's a promise. I'ma get these bucks without Giannis. I'm a mobbing like a shot up the rock room. Rock the pussy housing, he's going around the see ain't nobody done it like I done it, I'm a giant. They asking for the real, had to show them. Niggas steady claiming they the real, but they lying. We the same ones showing guns to dying. I be in my lane with my train, hopping planes. Riley in the match, did dancing in my chain. Catch me blowing loud in the clouds out in mountain. Shout out to my pussy, getting shoots up in the county. Hashtag days, do it moving, I'm a punier. Please don't make me do it, little nigga, I'm a shooter. I just mind my business, never witness, don't recall. You see a nigga open, don't just hold it, I mean.
Our silence cannot continue to fester. The enemy approaches.
Got a couple hardy spoken bitches is gnarly. Gotta show us Santa Roses where my life is apart. I'm in the 707 to the 816. I'm just modeling, searching for a day one dip. I'm we really playing these hoes. I go stupid, like I don't understand these hoes. I really do it. Throw some ice on your neck. She told me, prove it, make me ready, change your life in the sun. I'm looking old school, too short, riding in a suit sport. Nigga play with kids where he live or be a hoop court. And I'm hungry, I'm a night eater, fuzzing in my white beater, shaking ass and broke. That's some shit that I don't like either. I'm gone. I just hit another corner, I'm a loner. The realest nigga reppin' California, I'm a stoner. I'm in my own lane, gold chain, all flawless. About to buy a plane, y'all call us, man. I'm just in my own. I'm just. I'm just.
Welcome to the new generation of web creation, where your vision and technology works as one, so you can create the way you think. Wix.
I've been needing more art in my bedroom and recently painted this canvas. However, I wasn't quite sure the best way to hang it, so I turned to ChatGPT. It gave me a list of all the materials I needed and an easy step-by-step. I'm so happy with how it turned out.
My life is like a movie, check the analog. Listen, street quarterback, I just hand it off. Keep me out your business if I'm not involved. I creep through your spot like I'm Santa Claus. This beef shit is old, it ain't new to me. This game took a change here brutally. Lucky I ain't tripping like I used to be, cause I be snatching rap niggas right up out their jewelry. The plug just hear me say he ready for me. My Italian bitch say she got spaghetti for me. The funky ass feds dropped the levy on me, plus Messy Bar looking for me, so I'm getting on it. Bully, huh? Bully. Fully, huh? Faking. Truth is, the nigga really wants weed. I could've pulled the plug, cut his circuit off. Instead, I'm on his head, he gotta work it off. I'm praying for the day that I'm in front of you. I'm still trying to find out what you're gonna do. I probably couldn't stop it if I wanted to. Real crest niggas on your head trying to gun at you. You broke the internet, nigga, run with it. I see you doing bad, I'm having fun with it. And I'm thinking, how you running your mouth? Why you speedballing dope, sleeping under a house? Whoa. My life is like a movie, check the analog. Street quarterback, I just hand it off. Keep me out your business if I'm not involved. I creep through your spot like I'm Santa Claus. This beef shit is old, it ain't new to me. This game took a change here brutally. Lucky I ain't tripping like I used to be, cause I be snatching rap niggas right up out their jewelry. If you know that in your head, you better carry it. If you get some potty on that boy, you better bury it. You got a good feeling, take it serious. Whatever you do, stay away from fuck niggas, period. Look at what you need it for? I tell a bitch, bye, I don't need her. I told her in the sky, I'm a boss, bitch. Then I get it on the back, I ain't lost shit. I'm out there breaking records while I run around. She put her niggas second when I come in town. I'll leave her ass guessing like she's coming around. Told her if I run up in that pussy, I ain't coming down. He lost a little shooter, he a Mark fan. And you don't play his music, you a smart fan. And you don't do shows that ain't safe for him. And if you look like a smart bitch, pray for him. My life is like a movie, check the analog. Street quarterback, I just hand it off. Keep me out your business if I'm not involved. I creep through your spot like a Santa Claus. Beef shit is old, but ain't new to me.
Let the baby have some look.
Which hero do you
An
think you
extra
want to be
5% every time at Nordstrom Rack.
Nordstrom Rack. Join the Nordy Club to get more.
Nano Banana for Video is here. It's called Gemini Omni. I'm Sammy, and I work on the Gemini Omni team. You can take your own videos and alter the world however you want. This started as a video of someone just drawing a circle, and then Omni can transform it into this. You can change specific things or change everything. Your video can become something straight from your imagination. Here's a video that my friend took. He's just touching the mirror, and we can use Omni to reimagine what happens next. Edit the action, change the style, or transform yourself into something new. You can also edit with language over multiple tracks. You can take this video of a violinist and change the environment, make the violin invisible, or change the camera angle. I can give Omni a drawing with visual instructions, and it knows how to incorporate them into a full video. Because Omni is built with Gemini's world knowledge, Omni can just do cool things, like generate an object for each letter of the alphabet. Previous models really struggled with this. These are just a few things you can do with Omni. Try it out today. What would you use it for? Tell us in the comments below.
I want to send some words of encouragement. Y'all stay focused, y'all keep working hard, believe in yourself, prove everybody that doubts y'all wrong, show up every day, stay pure, keep your heart going pure, stay motivated, stay inspired, show love to your people.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I started from the bottom, all my way to the top. I never asked this kid, I worked for everything I got. They treated me.
Okay, nerds, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here. Monday, May 25th. Very excited to get into this video. Right now, we're looking at 10 Pokemon cards that I am personally looking to add to my collection right now. I already have all of these cards, and I'm looking to add more of them to my collection because I just think that they are very, very undervalued. Without further delay, we're going to go ahead and get into it. But I did want to remind you, 5K giveaway. Except without further delay. I lied a little bit. 5K giveaway. Chaos Rising Booster Bundle, Chaos Rising 3-pack blister with that awesome Charmeleon Cosmos Holofoil promo. That is going to be going out to one subscriber. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe for your chance to win that awesome 5K giveaway. Thank you so much for the support. It means the world to me. All right, now, without any further delay, Steelix from Mega Evolution base set. This illustration rare, I've talked about it once, I've talked about it a million times. This Steelix is metal AF, literally and figuratively. You have accidentally stumbled upon Steelix in its cavern, and you are in big trouble right now. This card goes so hard in the paint. The illustration is absolutely incredible. I love the way the light is glistening off of Steelix's steel frame, right? It's just so good. And like the jagged edges of the cavern, this is an intimidating card. Okay, so this card is up 10% over the last 3 months. It's up 8% over the last month. Last 6 months, it's actually down 2%. There is not a lot in this hobby right now that is not booming from a singles or sealed standpoint. So, when I think about Steelix, does Steelix have popularity? Yes, it's not like an S-tier popularity Pokemon, but it is a popular Pokemon. We've seen other Steelix illustrations do pretty well, and I think personally this is like my favorite Steelix card I've ever seen, so I'm stacked. And these lists, 10 cards to buy now, if you don't believe in what I'm talking about, if you don't have the same feelings, don't go just listen to me. Make your own analysis. Like, have your own thoughts. It's not just listen to me. It's if what I'm saying makes sense to you and you like this card, it might be a good time to buy it. Certainly from a value perspective, you can get this card under $8. I think it's a home run all day. I absolutely love it. We've got 4 mobile cards, and then we've got 6 promos. If you've been paying attention to the channel a lot, you probably know the 6 promos. You've probably seen all of the cards on this list before. But again, this is literally what I'm doing.
You might think PlayHop is for kids, but let me prove you wrong. There are many different types of games on PlayHop, such as simulators, puzzles, arcades, sports. Basically, there's something for everyone. My favorite games are strategies with multiplier games, because there's nothing more satisfying than watching your army grow from 1 to 1,000,000. For real, PlayHop has more than 20,000 games for you to discover, so you'll never get bored. And it's a great way to connect with new and old friends. So what are you waiting for? Play now for free.
Another day. Same pain, same meds, same struggling for symptoms. Injections like Humira and Enver work similarly to treat moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. But if your symptoms haven't improved enough, Rinvoq works differently. It's a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve RA joint pain, stiffness, and swelling as fast as 1 week for some. Even after 5 years, many people felt this relief. And Rinvoq can stop further joint damage.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occur. CV event risk increases at age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, have B or C, smoke, are pregnant, or plan. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Do something different. Ask your doctor if switching to Rinvoq is right for you.
The Genesect. Yeah, and I just realized I forgot to include 1 card. So I'm going to have to go get that one for y'all as well. But the Genesect EX Special Illustration Rare from Black Bolt. This card is up about 4% over the last 3 months from $41 to $43. Over the last 6 months, down 16%. It's a set that released in August of 2025. Been out, I'm getting close to a year now, 9 months. And to me, it's just at this price point that makes too much sense. Again, $43, $44. I think, again, this card is just kind of bad. The Steelix is badass, the Genesect is badass. The coolest Genesect illustration, when you look at the textures of the door paneling and everything here, Genesect, you've got the flames going on in the background here. It is just top tier for me. I think at $43 makes too much sense. I think that Black Bolt and White Flare are sets that are only going to get more and more popular as time goes on, because even though it is only Unova, there's a lot of great Pokemon in Unova, including Genesect, but the way those sets are constructed, absolutely incredible. And there's a lot of value within them, and Genesect is a really good one long term. I'll also tell you this. Illustration rares from Black Bolt and White Flare are much more difficult to find than special illustration rares, and kind of the way it was for most of Scarlet and Violet. But a Genesect, PSA thing, you can find them under $100. That is also extremely valuable. Alright, Erica's Tangela from Ascended Heroes. This card is down 11% over the last 3 months. It was $30 in February, right around the time that the Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer Box was released. It got all the way down to 23. Now you're hanging out around 27, 25, 27. You can probably find some listings on eBay, auctions. You can probably go to your local card store, maybe find it a little bit cheaper. If you want to get in at a little cheaper price point, maybe you can trade in some of your cards that you don't really care about. These are just little things that I like to do to kind of lower my price points. But I think Erica's Tangela is another just, you've got the Gen 1 nostalgia. beautiful illustration, really popular Pokemon and trainer combo. It's got all these, and then Ascended Heroes, the illustration rares. They are one in every 9 packs, but there's so many illustration rares. It's just difficult to pull a specific illustration rare from Ascended Heroes. So again, this one makes a ton of sense to me. We've also got King Rocket's Mimikyu, and look, we could talk about the side. It's like $90, pushing $100, right? Is it a bad time to buy that? I don't know. I mean, I did buy one when it was a little bit cheaper. Is that card going to be the next Magikarp? I have a hard time seeing that, but is it going to be one of the more popular illustration rares that we've ever seen? That I can see. That's not on this list, but I did want to mention it there. It's a gorgeous card by Ren. So we've got Team Rocket and Mimikyu. Awesome. Over the last 3 months, it's up 21%. It actually.
Controlling my suit is small.
More bad news for Chud the Builder. In our last video, we covered how Chud's team have been writing open letters on X to any and every conservative black man they can find, asking them to endorse Chud in the name of freedom of speech. And none of the Uncle been writing has been taking the bait. I was actually stunned that nobody took the bait because I thought at least one of these will 100% fact take the bait. They're natural contrarians. They're morally bankrupt anyways. We would all expect it. There's really no backlash coming because we all would expect one of them to take the bait, but none of them have. They're looking at Chud and they're saying, right, even the intention of being next to you ain't worth it. But instead, they're making videos going at Chud. Now, a lot of these dudes, like the Osh Twins and Ultra Tatum, have weaponized their blackness by being the token black voice for white supremacists. And they went at black folks all these years. Well, they're now waking up and finally realizing they're black. Chud has made them realize racism is real and you're still black. And no matter how much you suck up and you bootlick for these people, they don't like you either. So now the Osh Twins, out of all people, who have openly advocated for white folks to use the N-word in the past, now they're making videos going at Chud.
Crazy, like Chud the Builder's defenders. It says just the word, it's just the word, it's not just the word. Well, it's just the word, but it's got a lot of history. But it's an offensive word, right? Let's say I go and it's easily the most horrible word in any language. Yeah, okay, I give you that, whatever. But let's say I go into a white neighborhood. Well, let's just say some outdoor concert, and it's a country music concert. It's number white people, cowboy hat. And I take my black ass in there, and I start saying offensive things to white men's white wives. Like, yeah, hey, you want to be a... Yeah, you want some? And then the husband gets mad. He said something, and then she said something. I said, you know what, you're fat. I don't want you anyway. Yeah. And let's say they throw a punch at me, and then I back up, pull up my gun, and shoot. Yeah. You think I'm justified in that? It's just words. It's not freedom of speech. Do you think I'm justified in that situation? Shooting and unaliving somebody. Yeah. When I provoke and instigated the entire encounter. It's a slippery slope for our society, too. What's going to happen, a black man going out there flipping the script? Hey, your wife looks like an in-love.
There's 2 ways to go about this, and I'm still deciding how to go about this. There's the Young Turks path, there's the Adam Mockler path. When Tucker Carlson came out and denounced Trump and gave his apology for endorsing Trump, Adam Mockler came out and said, listen, right, thank you, I guess, but make no mistake about it, you are no friend of ours, right? We are not embracing you. You are still an enemy. You have no place in civilized society. You and your cronies sold out our country for a check to Trump. We are not forgiving you for that. So thank you for your apology, but it's too late. Young Turks did like a 30-minute segment disavowing Adam Mockler, shaming him, wagging their fingers at him for not fully embracing Tucker Carlson. Because according to Chink, any ally at this point, especially an ally as powerful as Tucker Carlson is going to be. Now, in this situation, I'm going to go the Adam Mockler path. These dudes don't get a sorry, they don't get a clap, they don't get a congratulations, they don't get nothing from me. It's a good thing, I guess, that you're now denouncing Chuck. But if you spent the last decade telling your audience of millions of followers that it's okay for white people to say the N-word, you spend your time shaming black people for telling white people they can't say the N-word. You spent the last decade doing everything in your power, right, to run negative PR on behalf of black folks, to present black folks as these like degenerate, moralist, violent freaks to your audience. So now that Chuck the Builder is like the most unpopular person on the planet, and you now have an opportunity to risk another audience, you're taking the opportunity, and we're supposed to applaud you. We don't applaud you. I don't believe a goddamn thing you're saying. And even in their explanation, right, they cater to white folks. Listen, white people, you know, that, hey, bro, we can't support this because, you know, we're stopping a black guy from going out and calling your wife all type of names in public. And I'm like, all right, man, like, all right, bro. Y'all do some shameless human beings. There's Griffin, it's a grit. Officer Tatum, it's a grit. All these guys, it's a grit.
She looks like a Nate, yeah. Then you provoke him and there's some kind of fight, and then because he has the gun, he ends up shooting that white person. Like, should the Builder be out there saying these things if he didn't have pepper spray and a gun? And people, his followers support him. Yeah, he did that. Yeah, would he be saying those words? He wouldn't be saying any of that stuff if he didn't have that pepper spray or that gun or those followers. Or the comments say, man, the reason why he's in jail saying is because of you guys. Y'all should have talked some sense in this. I mean, what are we trying to gain from this? So white people can have to use the N-word? I don't even think black people should use the N-word. I have friends with black people calling each other N-word. And you white people are like actually supporting a man going to black strangers saying the N-word? The history behind that word is that same black people and white people who defended black people. And they were Republicans. Y'all gonna defend that word? Modern day? You gonna defend that word? Freedom of speech. Stop chimping out. If anybody was chipping out, it was Shud. How you gonna chip out and then when somebody gets a neurological, mental reaction, you say they're chipping out? Does that make any sense? I mean, that's just gaslight. Yeah.